But with that being said, welcome to another episode of I Am Very Passionate.
You're Mario today.
I'm Mario.
I am full on Jessica.
And this is Jessica.
She's in the house today, guys. She is tired.
15 minutes in and we're finally starting the show.
She is menstruating.
But we're keeping all this in.
I love it, yeah.
They're just going to be like, what the fuck?
I love it. I had chocolate cake for breakfast.
Oh, I had vanilla cake and coffee. It was delicious.
The day after my kid's birthday
party. A true Puerto Rican breakfast, apparently.
We did.
Traditional.
And, yeah. Cake and coffee. Still cake and coffee. We don't waste anything.
That's what's up. No, it's good. I love cake.
So, you're going to have to leave this because I feel super...
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So today we are going to be talking about the royal bombshell interview that happened with Harry and Meghan.
I live tweeted it to Mario the entire time I watched.
She really did. She really did. Because she was watching it while out, because she works from home, so she can watch it while she works. Mm-hmm. And so she's just giving me the 4-in-1 of everything that's happening. I was like, oh my God, really? Well, so Chris had told me one thing about it, about him not getting a title conversation happening at the same time as him coming out too dark.
Yeah, the skin color was
and I was like, ooh, there's one, that's the one thing from this whole thing that I'm just like, ooh, I can't even enjoy anything about the royals anymore.
The fact that someone felt comfortable enough to have that conversation with them.
Yeah. That was how dare you?
Yeah, that was like, so this is a genuine concern. And I was like, skin color is a genuine concern? Why is that a concern?
Because they're racist.
What's wrong? Apparently.
But can you say you're surprised?
No. I'm not. I'm not saying that I'm surprised at all. I think I'm surprised at the audaciousness of it all.
They're a bunch of entitled white people.
I hear you, but I'm never surprised by racism. I'm always surprised by people who are just out there with it, making racist comments, doing racist things, and not giving a fuck, that kind of shit. I'm like, really? You're not even pretending? You know that America looks at you dirty now.
This is not an excuse, but I will say they are very sheltered. Because, Harry actually talked about not understanding unconscious bias until he started dating Meghan Markle. Mm-hmm. And I was like, where the fuck were you?
Hanging out with his white people.
Yeah, I guess so. But, you've been around all these people of color touring the world.
But think about his perspective as a royal touring those worlds. Yeah. It's almost like a savior thing. Not saying that he has that perspective, but you're going there to, make them feel better.
It's just like that Prince Philip cult. Do you know about that? You don't know about this?
No, I don't think so.
Oh my God! There is there's a tribe in Africa that worships Prince Philip as a god.
Shut the fuck up.
And they send him shit all the time.
Shut the fuck up.
And he goes with it.
I need my bullet journal.
This is why I was not surprised that there's racism in this family. One of my very favorite podcasts. It's called Zealot. It's all about cults and other weird religious sects. And she did a whole episode on this.
Who is this?
It's called Zealot. It's a podcast.
Oh, yeah. That's the one that Georgia and Karen like.
Yeah, she came to one of their live shows and plugged it on the show. And that's where I heard about, on My Favorite Murder. That's where I heard about it at first. And then,
So this is, the Zealot podcast? Okay.
Yeah, let me look up what the Prince Philip.
Zealot podcast. Prince Philip cult. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
It's wild.
Okay, I'm listening today while I clean my house.
It's called the Prince Philip Movement.
Okay.
But yeah, they worship him.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, so I was like, I wasn't surprised to hear that there is some sort of racism in this family, just because
okay, but racism in a cult, wow.
No, but you're letting these people of color worship you as a god. You should have stopped that because that's fucked up. And he didn't.
I'm so excited. We're going to have to end the podcast so I can listen to it. Oh, God. Okay. I have to focus. Okay.
But today we are going to be going through the interview and kind of breaking it down.
Meghan Markle interview with
Oprah. But first, we did want to talk about some of the backlash because we discussed it. And
I expected backlash. I expected more than what I've seen.
In regards to everything or just...
Everything.
Okay, well, specifically we're talking about the Sharon Osbourne, Piers Morgan.
Y'all get ready. Because Mario told me about Piers Morgan and he was like, I'm a fucking drag his ass.
I'm just so excited about this.
The world can see how terrible he is.
And also how entitled he is.
I hate him. I've never liked him.
Same, because he's always attacked women. He has a history of attacking women. Like, powerful women who are outspoken, he's going to drag your name through the fucking mud.
They clearly don't like him.
He's talked so much shit about Madonna.
He doesn't like women.
He doesn't. He just he sees them as objects and as like a trophy. That's all he sees them as, because the whole reason he hates Meghan Markle is they met one night at a bar. Oh, no. She reached out to him on like Twitter. And it's like, let's meet up for drinks. And she's like, okay, cool. So they met up for drinks because she's networking, I'm sure. I don't think she's interested in this gross pasty old man.
No. She was trying. This is when she was dating Harry, right?
No,
this is before.
This is before he met. Okay. So she's like, let's meet up for drinks. I'm a big fan. You're such like a legend or whatever. Because at this point he was like he's a very
he's still kind of an icon though.
Yeah, he's a very well respected newscaster, but he just has a lot of shitty opinions. So when reporting the news or whatever, it's fine. But giving his opinion, he's an asshole. And
you're allowed to have opinions. It just can't be. I don't think it should be in the news.
But also, if you publicly share them, then you're subject to the ramifications of that.
Absolutely, yeah. You sure?
And so they met up for drinks. He thought they had a great time. She was really he was really charmed by her. He really liked her.
She's very likable.
And then he put her in a car, and he's like, "We'll talk later." And she never talked to him again because that car took her to a party where she met Prince Harry. And then the next day they were seen having dinner for the first time. And that's where their relationship took off. And so she ghosted him. And he's bitter about being ghosted. He talked about it on a radio
I didn't know that.
interview about, like, that's why he's so harsh on her. So it's like, how fucking entitled are you that you have...
You have a drink.
But this motherfucker already has a wife.
No, but hold on. First of all, you are, just because you're Piers Morgan and you have a drink with one very charming woman, you have a drink and then she meets the love of her life that night and you're mad that she never calls you back?
Yeah, but also you're not entitled to shit.
You're inconsequential in her life story. You're not a main character.
Yeah, like you were a famous person she met, and she's met a lot of famous people.
You're not,
she's from LA. She's an actress.
She's famous. She's famous. And she talks about in the interview how she doesn't really, like, it doesn't matter to her.
Yeah.
So she was just meeting another person, another networking contact.
Absolutely, and he saw it as more, I guess. He was very charmed.
Him even more.
So, like, I don't know if he wanted to pursue a relationship with her, because with him using the term ghosted, that implies
so
relationship
strange to me.
It's even stranger because he's fucking married. Yeah, that's You've been married since 2010. Why the fuck do you care about Meghan Markle? Are you looking for your next wife?
You're the high school football player that got scorned by the cheerleader, and everybody saw it happen.
And now you're telling everybody she's a slut.
Yeah, basically that you fucked her in the locker room, and now you're taking away like any right she has to be a woman ever
Absolutely,
again.
Which is why he went on to drag her on national television for years because she ghosted him.
I have such a negative opinion of him now. Like, I wonder if he's just this fucking sleep. No, I already didn't like him. No.
I'm just like,
let me be very clear. I didn't like him like as a newscaster, commentator. Like, I never liked him. He's like too mouthy, whatever. But like now I feel like, are you this guy that cheats on your wife, or like you just like want to get women under your belt? Like I'm a little, now your character is completely
I mean, maybe they have an open relationship. I don't
give a shit. It's
but
okay.
At the same time,
it's okay for a woman not to call you back.
Yeah, absolutely. You're not entitled to anything. This is like
and he's not attractive.
This like typical toxic masculinity. Like, oh, I bought you a drink, you owe me sex. You don't. She doesn't owe you shit.
Yeah.
Women don't owe men anything. Even if you buy them dinner, even if you do anything, they don't owe you anything. You're not owed anything. And at the end of the day, you need to remember that. And he obviously can't.
I will always make sure that Madeline has money. Like, when she starts dating, always has money to pay for her own shit. Like, even if I have to put money in her account and she's going to go on a date, you pay for your own shit.
Yeah, no, just make sure. Go Dutch. Always go Dutch. I mean...
And that's sad because maybe a guy really just does want to buy you dinner, but you don't know anymore. Like, and you can't gauge it. You can't be like, hi, I'm Madeline. I'm not going to fuck you tonight no matter what you buy me.
Work.
You know, like, I don't know... I mean, actually, it sounds like a fun way to start a conversation.
Yeah.
But, like, oh, that's so grimy.
Yeah, it really is. And so...
I didn't know this.
And so because of his being ghosted ever since she started dating him, he's been really, really hypercritical of everything she does.
The fact that he used the term ghosted, though, like, that's so odd to me.
Because ghosting implies relationship was being formed.
Romantic feelings.
Yes. And so it's just like, you're an adulterer and a scumbag.
And
like,
also, how is it that you think you hold up to Prince Harry? He's Prince Harry.
Yeah.
He's such... I don't know. I have to be very careful about what I say.
He has really nice shoulders.
There was at one point both, like, I would have picked William over Harry.
Oh, absolutely. Have you seen the TikToks? Mm-mm. Oh my God, there are so many
Did you
TikToks.
see the TikTok that I sent you?
Which one?
I don't send a lot of TikToks.
I know, but I've seen a lot of TikToks. What was it?
It was about the interview.
Oh, and it's like, it was racism. It was racist.
Where they were like, Meghan was so like calm.
I don't know why. And he's like, they're fucking racist.
If that's your assumption, she's like, and that's on my grandma. Racism. Because they racist. Because they racist. I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what happened.
Oh, I don't know. I didn't think that.
Oh,
I saw it before I saw the interview, so I was expecting him to come hard.
But he
was very beat around the bush about it.
My husband asked me the same thing, but I was like, he did call them out, but in a very British composed way. Oh. Meghan was like, I don't feel comfortable answering. If that's your assumption, it's safe to assume that. Harry was like, yeah, we got out because of the racist nature of the attacks. Mm-hmm. Like, he straight up said it. And he basically said, my grandmother was amazing.
But I also think that's really smart on their part, because having a black woman coming out saying it's racism, nobody's going to listen to her.
They're going to vilify her.
They're going to say, oh, you can't always pull the race card. But when the whitest man possible comes out and says it's racism.
He's translucent. He's so white.
He used to be a lot cuter.
They both did. And he's losing his hair.
Oh, really bad.
I noticed in the interview.
Like, just shave it off, buddy.
It makes me sad for both of them because they both had, like, iconic hair. Hair defined them in their youth.
William was gorgeous. Yeah. But there's a lot of TikToks going around.
But now that he's older, he looks very much like an old British guy.
He looks like his dad.
With the teeth and the, oh my God, I know.
There's these memes going around, or these TikToks going around of, like, him being a dick and, like, cheating on his wife and doing all these bad things.
Those have been going on for years.
And and so then like, somebody's pretending to be Diana, snatching her jeans back as punishment.
Oh.
And then it shows the picture of him now.
Please send this to me.
There's like 4 of them that I've seen so far. I'll have to find them.
When you find them, send them to me. Like, you don't have to go out of your way to look, but, like, I need to see this.
No, they're good. They're good.
Diana.
They're so funny. Oh, sorry.
Really?
I'm just going to my likes.
Is that what we're doing now?
It's a recent like. At least I think it is. But anyway, so with that happening, Sharon Osbourne on The Talk, which I love The Talk, actually. Have you ever watched The Talk?
I'm not a daytime talk show person.
I used to not be. And then I go back and forth. Like,
I think every now and then I'll catch something, like The Real, maybe. I love Adrienne Bailon so much.
I don't watch The Real.
I sometimes I will. You know what? Not even that. Like, okay. I can't sit through a whole morning talk show. It's a lot for me. So I really appreciate the short clips that I see on YouTube.
That's where I watch it too.
I don't watch the whole show, but I do watch clips of the shows that come out.
Same.
I can't do it. I appreciate you talking and all of that, but, like, sometimes who's on the one that you're talking about?
The Talk is Cheryl Underwood. I don't know who's on it now, actually, because it's Sharon Osbourne. Because
which
the host of
Whoopi on?
That's The View. I don't really care for The View.
The View. Yay, I didn't like The View either.
I liked...
Because The View is the one that vilified Bella Thorne?
I don't remember.
When someone was leaking her nudes?
I don't remember. All I remember is it has Meghan McCain, and I can't stand Meghan McCain.
I thought it was...
It used to be Elizabeth Hasselbeck. Maybe it isn't in my recent likes. I don't know where it is.
Okay. This one's the one: Sharon Osbourne, Cheryl Underwood, Marie Osmond, and Julie Chen.
Julie Chen's not on it anymore.
Oh, that's what Google just told me.
I don't think. I know she was talking about leaving because she needed to focus on Big Brother. I really like Julie Chen.
Who watches Big Brother?
A lot of people. It has a huge online following. Like, people, you can pay like $30 a season to have access to the 24-hour live streams online, and people do it, and they, like, tweet about it, and it's, like, a huge thing.
Let me tell you why I don't watch The Real anymore. The comments that...
All of the racism and like them silencing them as black women?
That I'm not aware of. But the one non-black woman on the show.
Adrian?
Okay, Adrian's Hispanic. Sometimes I'll forget she's not black because she can't be she's from New York. Who's this person? What's her name? Okay, I don't like her comments about stuff. She kind of gets to say whatever she wants because she's not black or Hispanic. She's Asian, and they make it. It feels very much like she can say whatever she wants because she's like a minority, but not really a minority. Does that make sense?
Asian's a minority.
But that's how it's presented on the show. So like she made a comment once.
That's Jenny Mai.
Jenny Mai. So she made a comment once that she loves black men. She like sexualized black men on the show, but she would never marry one.
She married one,
right? But when she made that comment, there was little to no backlash about it, and I found it very offensive because I was like, you can't fetishize someone's skin tone. And now she's married to a rapper, and then she was talking about how she wants to be submissive to him now, like she's tired of like
a true wife or whatever. I remember that.
I don't, and I feel like if that had come out of the mouth of any of the black women on the show, there would be so much bullshit about it, but no one ever really said anything about it. The only people I heard say anything about it,
she's engaged to Jeezy.
Yes, yeah. But the only person that said anything about it that I was aware of was our podcast show that you got me hooked on. I have no brain cells today. Kid Fury, Crystal.
Oh, The Read.
The Read. They were the only ones to say anything about it. Yeah. And I was like, that's not like...
Well, that we know of.
No, I like made a conscious effort to look it up, and if people were just like, "Oh, Jenny Mai said this," but like there was no like, "Hey, don't fetishize black men," or like, "Hey," I just didn't like it. So back to this. Sorry.
So, in regards to the talk, Sharon Osbourne like went on a tirade defending him, and then
because she made a career out of being a bitch.
Did she? Because like I've never perceived her as a bitch.
Okay.
But of course, I've only seen her through a clear lens. And she's been on a lot of gay shows and gay-related things and always been super supportive and kind and encouraging. And then on the talk, she's always been that very kind, motherly kind of figure.
Okay.
So, at least for my perception of Sharon Osbourne...
she came off a little bit different.
I never watched the Osbournes.
See, and I've only watched the Osbournes. I never really watched a lot of queer TV girls.
I feel like a lot of the things done on reality television like that, you have to at least take with a grain of salt. But they're putting on a show.
Yeah.
But regardless, she went on a tirade... defending Piers Morgan and then yelling at Cheryl Underwood, saying, where's he being racist? You can't just say racist without him saying racist things. And it's like the implications of what he's doing are racist. Like how harshly he's criticizing her, but praising Kate for the same things is racist. Mm-hmm. And Oprah actually brought that up in the interview as well.
Mm-hmm. Because I loved how she did that.
And they had side by fucking side. Which the editing of this interview
fantastic.
Was on par. Like somebody needs an Emmy. It was good.
Yeah, and
it was very good. But essentially, she just went on this. White people are under attack, and I'm going to be now. They're going to call me racist and blah 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 because I'm supporting him.
Well,
it's like, bitch,
a little bit. Yeah, if you're being complicit, then it's a little bit racist. Yeah,
absolutely.
Because you can't see the fucking color undertone of what's going on.
But on top of that, like Cheryl started crying because Cheryl sees her as a friend and she's hurt by this. She's like, "Oh, don't you cry at me."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, bitch, we're not friends anymore."
But
there's no coming back from this shit.
I've seen her do shit like this, like on her show. I've seen her do it in like clips and stuff too. I know she offended someone greatly back in the 90s because of comments she said. I've never thought that Sharon Osbourne was like a good person or someone whose opinion I respected and admired.
We have completely different references for her, and I'm not saying yours is wrong by any means. My eyes are being opened to what she's really like.
This makes sense to me. But
also, like, people were on TikTok were talking about, like, how are you surprised that she said this when look at what her daughter's saying? And they cut to the clip of Kelly Osbourne talking about, well, if you deport all the Mexicans who are going to clean your toilets. And
I'm
like,
not
bitch,
a fan
what?
of the Osbournes, period. Like, I don't like, they feel very, and it's not because, like, just because of the reality TV show, it's just things that I've seen over the years. Like, the comments that are made are very...
entitled?
Maybe not, like, active racism, because I do feel like active racism is one of the rungs of hell in this whole situation. But, like, there's a lot of, like, entitlement, unawareness in the world. Like, it's like people who won't acknowledge white privilege because they don't act on their white privilege. And it's just like, but that's not the whole part of white privilege. You're not understanding all of it. You're dissecting to make yourself feel better instead of just acknowledging that it's a real issue. Yeah.
They actually kind of talked about this some on the read this week. Because on Drag Race, there's a queen named Utica who is a white queen from, like, the Northwest. Not the Northwest, the Midwest. And she was going to portray Bob Ross on this. They have this challenge every season called the Snatch Game where they have to portray...
Yeah, you told me about it. Yeah.
Celebrities. Well, she chose Bob Ross.
Okay.
And instead of doing an afro, because she thought it would be inappropriate for a white person to wear an afro,
but Bob even Ross had an afro.
Exactly, even though white people have afros.
Yeah, because white people have curly hair and textured hair.
She sewed together a bunch of squirrel plushies into an afro and wore that instead. And RuPaul and another black...
not more fucking offensive?
Exactly. And RuPaul...
You overcorrected to the point where you came right back around to racist.
And now it's just like, are you really caring about cultural appropriation? Or are you just really caring about not coming off as racist?
Yes. Oh, that's the perfect way to explain it.
And they talk about it. If you don't listen to The Read, it's my all-time favorite podcast.
It's up there for me. It's my favorite, like, weekly podcast.
It's my favorite podcast of all time. Nothing compares. I love our show, but no, I'm totally joking.
Mine is not our favorite.
Ours is not.
I'm just going to flat out say I love listening to it because I love me and Mario. But, like, you know, a little vein there too. But, like, no.
I don't actively listen to our own
Dr.
podcast.
Death is fucking fantastic.
I still need to listen to season 2.
And everything that, like, they do, like, that, what's his name does is my favorite.
But anyway, if you have not listened to The Read, I highly recommend it.
Lindsay, sorry.
If you're white, don't get offended.
Just
acknowledge your whiteness, because they're never... How
do we do this? Okay, so, like, if you're white and offended easily, when they say white people, then you're part of the problem.
Yeah.
Because, like, the thing is when minorities and black people talk about white people, they're talking about a specific group of white people that are actively, like, just terrible fucking people. So when they roast white people... and you're not a terrible racist person, you're not a part of that white people group that they're talking about. So,
you should be able to laugh at it.
You should be able to laugh at it and be like, yeah, I see that bitch all the time, Becky in the corner. But also, like, I've learned so much about queer culture listening to them. Like, I've gotten, like, full education from them. I went back to, like, 2016.
Oh, yeah, she listened to, like, the whole thing almost.
I did, yeah. It was fantastic.
I love them. But if you haven't, I highly recommend it. Listen to The Read. But this week's episode, they talk really much, pretty, like, in the Read section about this incident. Because then also... in the next week's challenge. Which incident
specifically? Oh, about okay.
Because they even talk about how offensive it is that, so black people's hair is now squirrel tails?
Yeah.
Which, like, I understand why she chose squirrels, because Bob Ross had pet squirrels.
Yeah. But,
and a lot of people forget that.
But you overcorrected.
But she totally overcorrected. And then the next week, she was partnering with a black queen, and they had to dress each other up as each other. And have you ever seen BAPS? Black American Princesses? It's Halle Berry and... Yeah. Okay, so in BAPS... she did a BAPS, like, Simone, the black girl, wanted to do a BAPS look on Utica, and Utica's like, I don't want to offend anybody. I'm gonna, like,
then you
freaking
don't
out.
Understand cultural appropriation.
But on top of that, this is a black artist.
Like, wanting to
expressing herself on your body. So you're not making this choice. Yeah. You're not appropriating anything. She's putting it on you.
Then I think she doesn't understand cultural appropriation then.
She may not. Well, I think she became more comfortable and, like, they had a conversation about it.
Yeah.
But it's just like, girl, like, but also she's from the Midwest. But, like, she's trying.
You're
I can appreciate
it. You're scared of cancel culture, which
that too.
I fucking hate cancel culture. So Daniel and I talked about this. I was like, the cancel culture is the dumbest fucking shit I've ever heard in my life. I'm not on board. It's a good week or two of people bullying based on, like, your opinions, and that's it. Like, that's not what cancel culture should be. But I understand why maybe she's nervous, because maybe she's not educated and she doesn't want to do anything wrong. She genuinely doesn't want to offend people. But again, you just overcorrect to the point where you're setting women up to now black women have squirrel tails for hair. Like, that's a whole other issue.
But on top of that, if you have two black artists coming to you and saying, hey, this is not appropriative. This is okay.
And also, we're black, so we're telling you.
Yeah. Like,
it's okay.
And especially, Simone is, like, of the culture. Everything she does is an homage to blackness, and it's beautiful.
I love that.
You would love the season, I think, because they have like a female to male trans guy who is killing it. Got Mick.
I remember you telling me about.
And then Simone, you would love Simone.
So sorry.
There's this amazing look she did where she had like it was like a train. They had to wear a chain. Mm-hmm. Her train was a fucking do-rag, and it was beautiful. Like I could see Rihanna stealing this, but no. Anyway, back to Sharon Osbourne. Like she was really nasty on television. I think twice, and then she came out and did like a formal apology.
I'm not surprised at all.
And Cheryl Underwood stood by her. I think Cheryl Underwood educated her. And the thing is, she's lucky that she has Cheryl Underwood in her life because it is not black women's responsibility to educate white people about racism.
I went and looked when I was looking all this up because I pulled a lot of stuff from different media outlets. Mm-hmm. They received so many complaints about Sharon. And I read that Sharon was like, when she went into the network's office, they read a lot of it to her. And they were like, this is why the comments that you made were not appropriate. Okay. Because I think, like there's this whole... I feel like, this is my perspective, I'm only half white, guys. And because I am white and Puerto Rican, I feel like I'm in a different sect of seeing things because I don't really quite fit in with either. I think the white people that want to care or that do care have no idea how to educate themselves because it is very vast and broad, and black people feel very differently across the board about a lot of different topics.
Things that people don't even realize.
People that you don't realize. Like, maybe you don't understand why it's not okay to touch a black woman's hair. Mm-hmm. And it is not the responsibility of black people to teach white people. I firmly stand by that and believe that, but I do think that there's a lot of white people like, well, we don't know what to do then. Yeah. Because they don't know where to begin. Their whole world is like, it's a white world. Like a lot of people in the Midwest, like there's no culture. It's just white people. Yeah.
No, and so like,
it's difficult to find a way to rectify that because I don't want to put any responsibility on black people. It's not their responsibility. I think at this point, though, there's a lot on the news. You need to figure out, you need to read about a lot of things and figure out what you're comfortable with.
There's resources out there. It's not like this is a whole new thing. People have been talking about this for years.
I think the perfect example of like not really understanding or feeling comfortable and then making a decision based on what you feel comfortable with is the N-word. Mario and I have both been told by people of color that's okay for us to say the N-word. Yeah. Mario and I will not say the N-word.
I will not.
Not even in a song. Not going to do it.
Oh, no, I say fella.
I say ninja.
No, I don't.
I'm quiet. Or I'm like,
I used to say buddy. That's a little... It didn't flow as well as fella.
I get it.
And I fell in fella. Because, like, I don't even want people to think I'm saying an N-word. I don't care. I'm not replacing it with any other N-word. Because you're going to see that...
I just say ninja. I just say ninja because there's a lot of, like, black songs that will say ninja in place. I'm like, okay, well, I can say ninja. It's fine. So it was one of those things where we're like, is it okay for black people to say it? Is it okay for a colored person to say it? Like, a person that has brown in their skin tone? Or is it, like, something where you just refrain? Me, personally, I'm just going to refrain. I'm not.
It was never used against my people.
Yeah, that's the other thing is like it's never used against me. Like things like spick and stuff like that are terrible. I've been called that before. I know my mom's been called the N-word, but my mom is dark. So I just that's an example of like you can read about it if you want, but like making a decision that's not going to offend anyone. Like no black person's going to be offended because I'm like, oh, thank you for giving me the privilege to saying it. I'm just not. Though.
But on top of that, there are so many YouTube videos, so many
out there.
Articles that you can go out and look for and educate yourself now. And there are the black people who have taken the time to make educational videos
and
to explain
those
things.
Angels,
because they didn't have to, but they realized, okay, well, we have to be able to communicate somehow, so we're going to put this out here. And it's out there. You can't just there's no excuse. You have a smartphone. Everybody has a fucking smartphone now. There's no excuse for you to say, oh, well, I didn't know that, or I'm uneducated about this. You have so many endless resources to find out about race and racism and all of that shit now. Like
and in my experience, and this is very much with the queer community as well, because I'm thinking about Jamie right now. In my experience, asking a question in a non-offensive way, just being like, I'm curious about this. Like, what is your perspective on this? A lot of times, people will be willing to answer those questions when the question is framed like that.
And that's how Chris is. Like
and not in a defensive way. Well, why can't I say it? No, it's like, I'm just curious. Like, why is this not okay? Not that I would ever do anything to offend you, but I am curious to know your perspective on this. A lot of people of color will be willing to have those conversations.
You just ask it nice.
As long as they feel safe enough to be authentic, you can get a real answer. So, I mean, like, I know it's hard, especially in the Midwest. There's no culture there. I get it. You know, it's one of those things where I can understand someone not wanting to offend, like, greatly, but not knowing what decisions to make because I have no clue. I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I get it. You know?
That's honestly something I'm really nervous about with moving. Because, like, we looked at the population of Boston.
Oh, yeah.
And it's white.
Well, there's pockets of Hispanics there.
Like, it's like 7% of the population is Latino. And then 1%'s black.
It's all my brother-in-law's family because they live in the Boston area.
No, seriously, like,
No, I hear you.
I've lived in the South for so long.
Oh, I know.
And I've also lived on military bases, so I've always been surrounded by people of color.
Military is always mixed bag.
Yeah, it's always everybody. It's not just...
And the South is even though there's a lot of racism, it's like a lot of black people here.
But also with where I work, where we work, it's predominantly black.
It's brown, yeah.
And
it's
so
black and brown for sure.
Yeah, and it's what I'm used to. It's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's to the point where whenever I go to like events here,
it's weird.
Where it's predominantly white, I don't feel safe. Weird. And so I'm going to be living in a place that's predominantly white, going to events that are predominantly white, and I'm just like, this is going to be interesting.
I would find events that are predominantly non-white.
I'm going to have to look.
Yeah, I just think you need to find. So I know that 7% of the population is Hispanic, but their population, there's a lot of people, so maybe it'll feel a little bit bigger.
And maybe there's like suburbs that are more
But let me tell you
color.
something. When we went to Connecticut. When we were in Gaylordsville, Connecticut, riding around, when we saw our first black person, we waved. We were like, "Oh my God, hey, Billy, how you doing?" Because it is very different. It's very different. Like, you're fully aware, especially my husband, because he is darker, is like fully aware of his skin tone. Mm-hmm. But he's also had some really racist things happen here. So,
like, I think I've told the story about the time I went to the Grand Floridian at Disney.
A terrible memory. I don't know.
So the Grand Floridian is this resort that's like Southern plantation themed.
Oh, mm-hmm. Oh.
And everything is white. All the furniture, the flowers, everything is white. Mm. And I was the only non-white person for a minute, and I was walking around, and I just started noticing.
Mario has fair skin tone, but he cannot pass as white.
I was walking because I definitely, it's my eyes.
You're super Mexican in the face.
So I was looking around and I was like, what the fuck? Like, and I just like, I slowly just like, it was like very like a get out moment.
And you're tall as fuck, so you stand out.
I do. And I also wear all black.
Mark, you cannot miss him.
And so I'm just looking around. I'm this like black dot in this sea of white.
That's what it felt like in Connecticut.
And I was just looking around like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah.
And there's just more white people coming. And like, these are like white people with like their fucking sweater tied around their fucking shoulders.
Millennial Disney moms.
Like white.
Yeah. I can't
they're spending like at least $800 a night to stay in this fucking hotel.
That's crazy.
It's that kind of white. And so like I'm walking around like, oh my God, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? And like I was literally, my heart was racing. I was about to have like a little panic attack. Like I was about to say, I need to go step outside. But then when you go outside, there's fucking people in like antebellum style clothing riding around on a fucking
fucking out of body experience.
What is it called?
That's okay.
The thing with the horse.
Buggy.
A buggy. Walking around in a fucking buggy in antebellum style clothing. Like, it might be Old English. I don't fucking know. It all looks the same to me.
No. I think it's antebellum.
It's all the fucking same to me. And I'm just like what the fuck? And then a Mexican or like a Latino family walks in. I was like, oh my God. Thank God. I was so scared.
I'm laughing because it's such a real feeling. Like I'm not ever aware of. I have white privilege. I'm not ever really fully aware of my skin tone, right? Because like I get really dark if I'm in the sun, but for the most part, like I'm just an olive complexion girl, and I think people don't always know I'm Hispanic. But it's so funny because when you are aware of your skin color, bitch, you are aware of your skin color. It's happened to me twice. Connecticut. Mm-hmm. It was like Pioneer bunting from every every colonial style home I was at. God. And like we went, I did a little grocery shopping and I shopped for, and he warned me, like his cousin, he was like, there's a lot of microaggression around here. Like, just to let you know, you're not going to see a lot of colored people. And, I went to Aldi's, no black people. Like I expected not to see Hispanics. I expected to see a couple black people. I saw one black person in the 5 days I was there.
Wow.
Yeah. And he was like walking through the neighborhood. The other time I was fully aware of my skin tone. It was a get out moment for me. I went to a wedding at the Sweet Plantation.
Oh my God, it was a plantation wedding?
It was a plantation wedding. And I thought, okay, well, maybe the grounds are really pretty. And then, like, as we were sitting
I would
there,
never.
It's not my friend. It was Daniel's friend. And the guy that got married is such a cool guy. I love him so much. Like, he's just, like, one of the best white people. Best white person I've ever met with money. Like, he's an incredible... You would love him. He's great. But...
He had a plantation.
The wife.
I don't give a fuck.
Here, look.
He went along with it. He's complicit.
You would have to meet him to understand.
Is he cute?
He looks a little bit like Owen Wilson.
Okay, no, he's not cute.
A little bit. I can't explain. He's just such a really cool guy. He's like my husband, but white. I can't. They're very good friends. Mario, let me get through this story. I go and I'm like, okay, you know, fine. We're here to support him. I love his family. They're all wonderful. And then I'm sitting there waiting for the wedding to start. And I start to notice that not only is that a plantation, but we are doing very, like, old school plantation vibes.
Like antebellum South.
The boys had, like, suspenders, khaki pants, page boy hats. Then there was a drinks. They had, like, a drink happy hour. We got through the wedding or whatever. But when I became fully aware of my skin tone and my husband's skin tone, and it happened much later for me than everybody else at our table, was when we were being served. There was obviously like a server manager. She was white. Everybody else was black.
Oh my God. I would have left.
Serving on... We did. I was like... I sat there and I was looking around and I was like, maybe everybody's black serving us food. Like, everybody. And he was like, you just noticed? We had been sitting there for a good hour. And I was like, yeah, I just noticed. And Dr. I'm not going to say his name. Our professor, we were at a table with my husband's favorite professor. And he was like, oh, you just noticed? He's white. And I was like, yeah, I just noticed. And they were like, we got to go. So we all just kind of like quietly left. And then Daniel and I went straight to Latin night. We were like, kids got a babysitter. We're going right back into our own culture.
Yeah, I couldn't have attended a plantation wedding.
It happened, like, it was fed to me through pieces, so I didn't know. I never saw the invitation. I'm not really friends with the wife. And I didn't know, like, her style or anything like that. When she came out, like, in a shawl and stuff, very old, I was like,
what the fuck is this?
What is happening? Like, that's not the style I thought. I didn't put it together until I sat down and was eating shrimp and grits. And a black person handed me my stuff. And I was like, oh, this fucking sucks. I don't like this. And also, I thought about it later. Like, what plantation, it's called the Sweet Plantation, would choose their serving staff to be black? Like, that was full on inappropriate.
A lot of them.
That's my one and only. And I would never go to another one. Oh, you're having a wedding in a plant? I'm so sorry. Mm-hmm. I cannot attend.
I can't be friends with you.
I don't know how many people were whipped there or raped there. Like, I don't want to sit there thinking about that shit. Like, because I do think about that shit while I'm there. It's like a historical site. This isn't a fun plantation, bitch. This was a plantation.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's appropriate. I don't think I could be friends with somebody who wanted a plantation style wedding because that says so much about you as a person.
I don't talk to him anymore.
Does Daniel?
Daniel has talked to him, but it was in reference to something else health related.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then we kind of had to show up, but it wasn't for them. It was for somebody else.
Got you. But no, I couldn't. It's like, what kind of person are you that you thought, we're going to have this beautiful thing where we romanticize the slavery times? Like, what the fuck?
Never again. That scarred me so much. Never again. She was mad, though, because I think a lot of people left early. And I don't know if...
Girl, you had a racist fucking wedding!
I don't
want to be photographed there.
No. Here's the thing is, I don't know that everybody left because of that. Oh. There were very few brown people at this morning. Me and Daniel were it. Ugh. Other than the servers. Imagine how that feels.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's some woke whiteys out there.
No, totally. We were sitting at the table with some of them. Sorry, we got off topic.
No, it's totally fine. It's like, race in general. We're talking about race.
It is race in general. But, like, being hyper aware of your... And then I think about, like, black people who are aware of their skin tone at all times. Like, I've experienced it twice in my life. Mm-hmm. Where, like, the situation I was like, ooh, okay, maybe... There was one wedding that I went to with a coworker where I was, like, hyper aware. And then, like, black people showed up, and I was like, oh, I'm so happy right now. I'm so happy. And the girl that got married, I told her, I was like, I've never been to a wedding like that. Like, that was very Southern, very country. I mean, they had, like, flowers and empty... Because your sister or somebody did it. Your cousin did it.
But their country is fucked.
And I laughed so hard. And she was like, I get it. You've never seen it before. But, like, when those black people...
It's in a buckshot.
It's a buckshot.
Buckshot with flowers.
That was their boutonniere. Like, I was like, who handles guns that often? Where they were like, the shell casings would make a great decoration. Totally weird to me. But when black people showed up, I was like, yeah, I feel good now.
And my cousin had a country-ass wedding. She wore cowboy boots under her
wedding dress. That's what happened here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's very... They even had, like, fishing lures. It was, like, fishing... I made the boutonnieres, because they're... Oh, you're crafty. Can you help us with this?
That's wild.
I was like, I've never touched it. Well, no, I had touched a bullet before. I'm lying. But it's just... I never touched, like...
That many at one time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they were shell casings, but still... It was weird.
It's very strange.
And so you're just putting them in? And...
strange because it's a whole... culture of people that like handle gun and bullets and all that so regularly that like let's make it a part of our wedding. Like that's odd for someone who doesn't handle a gun quite often.
That's some redneck shit.
Yeah, okay.
But with that being said, we'll be right back with our main discussion of the actual interview.
Piers Morgan's a piece of shit.
He is, absolutely. And I'm so glad that like he lost his job. We didn't even fucking talk about that.
He quit.
So, we didn't finish that part. So, he stormed out because one of his co-anchors, who's, like, the only person of color on there...
Stood up for Meghan
and said, look, for the last 4 years, you've been dragging this bitch. Like, what do you have to say for yourself? And he's like, oh, I don't have to stand on this for my own show. And he storms off and leaves because he can't handle being confronted with the fucking truth.
But my issue also, like, the race is an issue, but a big part of it was him saying that she thought she was lying about suicide.
Yes.
Oh, my God, that hurt me. To my point, I'm like, please don't let her see that because she made it clear that
she saw it.
She saw it?
Yes.
Because she complained.
She filed a complaint.
Yes, good for her. Yeah.
So when he stormed off, 41,000 people filed formal complaints against him.
That's right.
And so they came to him and had a conversation and they agreed he would no longer be on the show anymore. So I'm certain it was either you formally leave or we're firing you.
Yeah.
So he lost his fucking job.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic. He doesn't deserve a platform. Like,
I mean, you know, like if we're going to really get down to the nitty gritty, if you've been objectifying women for this many years so openly and publicly and you don't care, but then also now you're going to talk about how she's lying about suicide. Like, come on, dude.
Like you contributed to this bullying. You're part of the problem. You bullied this woman into the point where she wanted to kill herself.
And also it makes so much sense that's why Harry stepped back. Like suicide became that's it. I don't know how to help my wife, so we're not doing it anymore. Let's go, woman.
Yeah?
Like, it makes so much sense to me that they just were like, nope, can't do it. She can't be here anymore.
It's...
Like, you're a fucking piece of shit, Piers Morgan.
He is.
And I hope that now that you are not, like, in power, I really hope that every nasty piece of shit comes out about you so you can see what it feels like to be dragged.
I hope so, too.
I hope his
wife leaves him.
If you spend your life dragging women... or anybody, like if that's been your career, then I just think it's probably only fair, and hopefully I'm alive when it happens and karma allows me to witness it. I won't contribute to it, but I may pay attention to it.
Oh, yeah, I'll watch. I'll watch you choke to death.
Oh, okay. With that being said, we're actually going to get into the interview now, because we're doing our own death threats now, apparently. So.
We'll be right back. Well, it's not a death threat. I just thought I would watch.
It's a death...
viewing?
Spectator. I don't need your attitude, sir.
What? Well, I'm just teaching you how to view an iPad because you're getting an iPad.
The glee in your voice makes me not want to get an iPad.
That's one of my ray of lights. Don't take it away from me.
Yeah, I talked to Stephanie about that. How, like, I am a person that's like, if you tell me I can't or can't do something, I'm immediately going to do it out of spite. And, like, how I don't live my life like that.
You can't get an iPad.
Yeah. Why? Fuck you, I'm getting an iPad. How, like, I don't kind of do that with my family. Like, I'm more complicit and shit. And I was like, it was one of the things I learned about myself in EMDR. You asked me, like, what realizations I had. Because, like, even Daniel would be like, no, you can't do that. And I'm like, bitch, fucking watch me then. But I'm just kind of like I don't like authority.
Understandable.
If you're paying me a job, love authority. Absolutely. I love authority. We're going to be great friends.
Don't tell me what to fucking do, though.
Yeah, but don't tell me what to do.
No, I think I agree. Like, As long as you show me what I'm supposed to be doing, I'll do it. You don't need to micromanage me. I hate micromanagers.
Yeah, going to the call center was a huge adjustment for me because I had not worked under anybody remotely like a micromanager in at least 10 years.
Ooh.
So it was really weird to me.
Well, speaking of micromanaging, why don't you micromanage this conversation?
Oh, okay. I'm being honest too. I will have to say that I'm holding out on my opinion about Kate now.
Why? She even said she's a good person.
She did, but also there are points in the interview that she was not left out as a person who may have been a contributing factor to some of the things. And one of the things that Meghan said to me that was the most poignant was about the whole narrative about making her cry. She was like, I would hope that Kate would want to clear that up. You know what I'm saying? And so it's that thing of if you're being complicit, you get a couple points deducted from your personality for that. I'm so sorry.
But I also think she was trying to be fair because she was just as complicit in not talking. Or allowing them to silence her.
Meghan did a great job. I'm not saying she didn't do a great job, but it does make me kind of look at all of them
absolutely.
Except for the Queen.
I love that
I like the Queen a little bit more.
I love that he was so open about them being afraid of the press.
Oh, that is going to be my whole wrap up today. Because I've been thinking so hard about media in general where I just decided I fucking hate it. I can't stand it. Work. I think it's so messed up. I really, really do.
We're media guys.
We're commentary. We're not news.
That's true. But these
about,
are tabloids. Tabloids are commentary.
But I have a problem with tabloids, period. I really, really do. And for the most part, you and I are not we are not disparaging someone's character just for the sake of news. We genuinely do our research, look into it, and we talk about it, and only as it relates to our core values. Tabloids will print fucking anything to have someone read a paper or click a link.
That's true. Coco agrees.
Coco and I had in-depth conversations. She's like, I'm so tired of talking to you about this, bitch. Stop it. Can I brighten the screen?
Yeah, absolutely.
I have terrible eyesight, and
Did it come down? Yeah.
Oh, okay. I can't stand dim screens.
Oh, I just did it because I didn't want to kill a battery.
No, I know, but my eyesight is just bad. I literally, if there's not a ton of light, I feel kind of tunnel visioned. I'm oh god, I can't see.
That's okay.
Oh, this is not the interview. This is how the palace fucked up after the interview. Do you want to wrap up with that?
We can.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about Harry and Meghan's interview. Now, I have outlined this by different parts that stuck out to me. Did you add anything?
No, I didn't. It was
everything was in there?
Yeah.
Okay. So
inclusive.
I'm not going in order of the interview. I'm just going in order of the things that when I was typing and stuff and looking at articles, that's what I read. Okay. So the first thing is Meghan's mental health. This was the thing that stuck out to me the most because the narrative we were getting was a bunch of negative press about Meghan and her wanting to leave. And I don't think I ever felt like
They called her Hurricane Meghan.
They called her Hurricane Meghan, which, of course, is called a black woman that. Just for having a fucking opinion. I don't know that I ever believed it because it felt really bad. And when they left, I was like, good for them. Does that make sense? I was not someone who was like, oh, they should have stayed. Or I was like, good for you.
I know I'm on record on this podcast bitching about the tabloids because I was like, let them fucking live. Because I remember there was an article about how she closed the door herself. Who the fuck cares? Who the fuck cares? She's a human being. She's an American woman.
Yeah,
let her do what the fuck she wants to do. I remember going on a rant about that.
But now looking at that, I remember you doing that. But now looking at it, isn't it kind of silly that they would even
criticize her for doing that? If Kate did it, it's oh, she's so relatable.
Yeah. Okay, so I have in my notes, it said the Duchess of Sussex, and I will call her that now just to spite England. The Duchess, because they stripped her of her titles.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, and Harry too.
He's not a prince?
No, and they took away his army stuff.
Oh, I knew he returned his military titles. I didn't realize he's not a prince anymore.
No, he didn't return them. He was stripped of them.
Well, in the interview, they said they were returned to the Queen.
Because he's being respectful, but there's a lot out there. Because they brought it up in the interview. Remember, she was like, everyone thinks we're being punished because, his titles were taken away. But she was like, that was done before anybody knew about this interview. So this is not a punishment. This is because we are no longer full working royals.
Got you.
So
he's not a prince?
I don't think so.
I know he's not the Duke or whatever the fuck he is, but
I don't know because remember they said they were trying to change that. I think it's the Prince Thilman agreement or something like that.
No, he's still Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, according to Wikipedia.
Wikipedia is not a...
I know, but like it's usually pretty.
But remember, they tried to use Sussex in their brand, and it was taken. Like they would not allow them to have it because they didn't know if they were going to be able to keep their title now that they were not working royals. I'm pretty sure they're not a Duke and Duchess anymore. Maybe he's still Prince Harry and will always be Prince Harry, but I know they're not.
Because they even said in the interview, once a certain member of your family becomes king, you're automatically... So, like, Archie is going to be a prince no matter what.
No.
Yes, in the interview...
She said they're changing that because of Archie.
They wanted to change him being one now, but she said it doesn't matter because once Prince Charles becomes King Charles, he will automatically become a prince because...
That's not what I got from that conversation.
That's what I got from the conversation. She said it didn't really matter. It's just they're doing it right now because he's part black and they want to try and control it.
I watched it again this morning and I don't think I got that, but okay. I'm not sure if she sells the title, but I will forever call her the Duchess of Sussex. You can fact check that.
I'm doing it right now.
So she revealed that she had suicidal thoughts as she struggled with life inside of the royal family, and she said she didn't want to be alive anymore. And I would say that, like, I think that there's this whole stigma that, like, suicidal thoughts are probably someone who, like, wants to just kill themselves. But I think a lot of the time, and I've experienced it myself, where it's like, what's the point of being alive? Like, those are, like, the beginning thoughts of, like, suicidal thoughts. And for someone to have those thoughts, it can be kind of scary if you're aware of it. I don't know. I think there's this whole, like, media-driven narrative that, like, people who want to commit suicide just, like, do it, right? Like, they've been thinking about it, they plan it, they do it. But a lot, like, what is it, like 70% of all teenagers have had that thoughts. Like, they're going through bullying. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I just don't know why I'm alive. Like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't want to be alive anymore. Those are just as, like, scary thoughts to have, I think.
Definitely.
So for someone who probably has never experienced that, very strong woman in charge of her career, to have those feelings, especially after having a baby. Woo!
Yeah, and of course your hormones are everywhere, so...
Oh my god, pregnancy is fucking terrible, and if anyone tells you it's magical, it's not.
And I looked it up and I was right.
He still has the title?
No, he doesn't. No, Prince Harry will always be Harry, but in terms of Archie will become Prince Archie, His Royal Highness Prince Archie, when Charles becomes king.
I wonder if they're required to give him security at that point.
They will, because he's a prince.
Fantastic.
Which is why they're like, it doesn't make sense that they're doing this now, because eventually he's gonna get it anyway.
Okay, I got it.
So why are you being ridiculous about this?
Then there's a whole other narrative.
It makes it more frustrating.
It does make it more frustrating.
Because you're just being an asshole to be an asshole.
Yeah, you're being a racist to be a racist. Mm-hmm. Like, now you're really expressing your power.
And also, even if for any reason Charles does not become king and William does, he could still be the Duke of Sussex, because that is Harry's title forever, and it will pass on to his male line.
Got it.
Forever.
So it said here's the worst part, is like, when you have thoughts like that, I don't know that people always ask for help. Like, you kind of ride it until you can't anymore. Mm-hmm. But it says here that she begged for help and she asked to go somewhere to get help, and she approached one of the most senior people in the institution. We don't know who it was. She wouldn't release information like that, which...
Should we explain that?
Yeah.
What the institution is versus...
Yeah, so Meghan made it very, very clear that there's the royal family, and then there's the institution that manages the royal family. So she said, it's in her interview, she says it's very important that you have to compartmentalize those two things, because it is very different. It's not like the queen is making decisions. People are making decisions for the queen.
And also throughout this conversation and things you see about this, we might call it the firm or the institution.
I like calling it the firm. That's my thing.
It reminds me of a dick, because they're a bunch of dicks.
That is the cutest fucking thing you've ever said to me. My God. Yes, you better hear. Put on your lipstick, sir.
Where's my chapstick? Oh my God. No, go ahead. Keep going.
So she went to someone, the most senior people in the firm, but it told it wouldn't look good.
In terms of, they told her, well, you're not an employee of the firm, so we can't help you.
This is a quote from the interview.
Uh-huh.
It says... She was approached one of the most senior people in the institution, but was told it would not look good.
And they also said because she's not an employee, they can't help her.
Yeah, I think they came back with that excuse after the fact. Because I think Harry then went and was like, she need help. Mm-hmm. And they're like, oh, well, she's not a part of the firm.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's some bullshit.
She went on her own to ask for help. Do you know how hard that... Of course you know how hard it is.
Yeah.
I know how hard that is. She told how Harry cradled her when she was in the depths of her despair, and how she sought help from one of Diana, Princess Wells's best friends, though to have been Julia Samuel, who's now a psychotherapist. And also, there's a lot of, what's his name? Mr. Flamboyant, the...
Graham Norton, Ellen Carr.
No, the singer.
Elton John.
Yes. Elton John has been in Meghan's corner from day one. Like, he has always fought back against her, especially... Do you remember when they were openly criticized for taking a private jet? Do you remember this? I'm so into the royals, guys. Okay, so at this time, Kate and William were taking one of their kids to their boarding school, and they flew, like, coach. Right? But it was also a very short flight.
They were allowed to fly together? Because normally the prince and the king are not... Or the prince... So Charles and his... Not Charles... William and his son are not allowed to be on the same flight. Well... Or not supposed to be. Because he's the next in line after William. So if
he was taking his son to school.
Wow.
And they flew regular. And then there was a point after Archie was born that they had to fly somewhere for an engagement. And they were taking Archie and they took a private flight. And they were like, look at Kate and look at William. And they're so relatable. And they're flying like coach to take their son to school. But the flight was like a 30-minute flight. Mm-hmm. And where Harry and Meghan were going was like a 5-hour flight with a newborn.
But also,
hold on,
Archie doesn't have fucking security.
Hold on. Right, but we didn't know this at the time.
No, absolutely. But looking at it now, of course they did that. They
got vilified because their whole platform is green. Like, Meghan and Harry are very much green people. They were like, look at the carbon...
footprint.
The carbon footprint that private jet costs. But they didn't say anything about Harry and Meghan's. The jet was...
Or about William and Kate's.
William and Kate. The jet came from Elton John, whose jet is a carbon neutral jet. Like, it doesn't... It's a very small emission. And so he... Like, this went on for weeks.
Is it carbon neutral in that regard, or did he just pay the tax to make it carbon neutral?
It's his private jet, so he paid the tax to, like, make sure that it didn't emit emissions into the air.
I don't think that's what you... That means what you think it means.
No. It's a small carbon footprint. It's not the same as, like, a regular private jet.
Oh, okay.
This is Elton John's personal...
Because I know with, like, being carbon neutral in that regard sometimes means you paid a fee so you can fly without... So it's carbon neutral in the sense that, the money you paid is going to help offset the use of your trip.
No. It wasn't that. Because Elton John came out and was like, this is my jet. I loaned it to them. He didn't say why. Like, we didn't know that it was because Archie didn't have security. Whatever. And he was like, the carbon footprint of this jet is much lower than the flights that you're taking on a regular basis. Like, it's not perfect, but it's better. And it stands by their platform. But they still, and no one talked about Elton John coming out and saying it. Like, he did on Twitter, he did on Instagram, and no one talked about it. They just kept talking about how terrible
convenient.
It wasn't convenient. But, like,
it went against their...
Kate and William were so, like, working class people that I was like, but that jet probably had the worst emissions for a 30-minute fucking flight when they could have just driven a goddamn car.
Yeah.
Or taken a train. But they were vilified for that. And I just remember looking at it now, like you said, it makes total sense. Archie doesn't have security.
Yeah. So
why would I go through an airport, TSA? Why would I fly coach if my kid didn't have security and he was famous?
Well, then on top of that...
I would be Kim fucking Kardashian.
Meghan's being vilified by the fucking news media.
And no one ever criticized Harry before Meghan about his private jet flying. And he was a fucking bachelor spreading his seat around. You better believe he was on jets. He was on all of it. Yeah. As his right.
I'm also dressed up as a Nazi.
I'm not criticizing him for any of that. I'm just saying that no one ever talked shit about Harry until Meghan came into the picture.
Because he was the most liked royal.
He was the most liked royal.
And so even his wedding, because things didn't really turn for her until after they got married, really.
Yeah, she said 7 months was the turning point when they started talking about Kate.
So, like, they were darlings. Everybody loved them.
Everybody loved them.
Which, the parallels with Diana and what they talked about and how that Australian tour.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Because, like, he said things were going great. Everybody loved her.
They were surprised at how easily she connected with people and how great she was in the role.
And they got jealous.
He said jealous, but I think it was more like, how dare she come in so easily, this black divorcee.
I think they're jealous because they're so desperate for people to like them because they're so...
Who's jealous?
I think Kate and William are probably jealous.
You think so?
Absolutely. Kate loves... my perception of Kate is she loves the attention.
See, I don't have that perception of Kate because I remember when the media dragged the shit out of her and she literally, like, just crawled into a shell, did not look at any cameras. Mm-hmm. I remember when she went through that. When I tell you I follow the fucking royals, bitch, I follow the fucking royals. I think now it's probably important for her to be liked because she is going to be queen regent. But, like, I don't know that she necessarily loves it. I don't think that she does.
I think she likes attention. But on top of that, like, the thing that bothered me is, since she's gone through something similar, why is she not being supportive of fucking Meghan?
Oh my God, exactly.
So, I mean, she might be a good person, but how good of a person is she if she's not reaching out? Because, like, I understand not saying something publicly because you're not allowed or whatever limitations you fucking have.
Well, why can't we do it privately?
Exactly, privately.
Who
reach
needs
out.
To fucking know? What are you going to do?
Meghan was alone.
Here's my whole issue about the royal fucking family and the firm. What are you going to do? Kick me out?
Yeah,
bitch, you can't kick me out.
Well, they can overthrow the king. Like, kings have been killed by their people.
I don't think that's going to happen right now.
I think that's what they're afraid of. I think they're afraid of losing everything, or people deciding
everything. I understand that, but at the same time, if you really were a good person, like you said, oh, you don't want me to come out on public and talk about Meghan? What are you going to do? Make me divorce Harry or William? You going to make me divorce? Oh, okay. Hey, Meghan, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand that perspective.
They probably could.
Make them get a divorce?
Not make them, but leak all the stories of him cheating and doing everything and give all the details about it.
And I'd be like, fuck it, tell him. I don't care. I don't understand seeing someone go through. Like, Kate, here's my issue, is Kate really went through it in the media. Like, they dragged the shit out of her. They called her Weighty Katie. They followed her to clubs. They legitimately...
They got topless photos of her.
They just vilified the shit out of her. And they were so mean to her, and they made her look desperate to be a royal and all this. Like, it was fucking terrible. So she went through something similar and, like, is not, like, right up on Meghan. Like, I got you, girl. Let's do this.
See, it makes me think of, like, well, I went through it, so she can too. Sort of.
I think it's one of those attitudes. They implied that a lot. But Harry was like, sure, we all go through it. But, like, now there's a racist component. That's not safe.
Yeah. And nobody's experienced that.
Yeah.
Because they're all white.
So how dare you, like, tell her how to act? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anyway.
Try and control her.
Okay, so speaking of the racism, that's my next one. So I have the royal family accused of racism. I'm just going to go through my bullet points and you add whatever you want. Meghan said that when she was pregnant with Archie, an unnamed member of the royal family raised concerns and conversations about how dark the skin might be when he's born. It's 2021. Who cares? Yeah. Everybody wants a little bit of tan.
But also she said this was happening at the same time they were talking about whether or not he would get a title. Mm-hmm. And Oprah was like, what?
Yeah, and so asked if there were concerns of her child being too brown and if that would be a problem. Meghan said, if that's the assumption that you are making, Oprah, I would say it's safe, which I probably agree with her. If someone came to me and said those things, my brain would instantly go to, like, really?
Oh, they're not really okay with what
they're not okay with what's going on. You told me it was okay to marry him, but you're not okay with me, like, producing offspring. That's kind of
But on top of that, they're both very fair. So I don't think it would have been likely that she would have had a very dark child.
The fact that you were concerned that it would be darker than the whitest of all the royals is a concern.
Yeah.
Because then that means that it's not the royal line. And also, I have to say this because I think about this every time we talk about royals.
They're inbred.
I just want everyone to realize, like, let's say that Mario is the royal and I am marrying Mario.
It's not going to happen.
Never.
I'm joking.
I'm going to vomit in my mouth.
Oh, she just did, guys.
Guys, like, the royal line itself, like, that bloodline is so watered fucking down because Harry and William are only technically half, and then their dad is technically only half royal, and then his parents are technically only half royal. You understand? Like, it's so fucking watered down that to the point where it's like, what's the royal line anymore? Because when we look at William and Harry, I'm sorry, but I see Diana. That's all that matters to me. Mm-hmm. Is Diana. I don't care about that dad. Like, I really, 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 really hope that queen stays alive long enough for her to be like, I'm sorry, sir, you will never be king. Come on, William.
Well, she chose Charles.
I know.
So...
But she chose Charles because the media, she came out and said something because the media at that point was like, nobody wants Camilla, everybody wants Kate. And so then the queen finally had to say something and was like, the next in line is Charles. But there was a good portion of the media.
She was allowed to choose William, though. She could decide who follows her. And she chose Charles.
I don't know how many decisions. I don't know how much of the decisions she's making are her decisions anymore.
Well, did you see they did a deep fake for her Christmas address?
I don't like deep fakes. I don't like them. I don't like talking about them. It's really fucking weird. The one with Selena Gomez, like, freaks me the fuck out.
The only one I've seen is the Tom Cruise one.
That's the one that everybody references is the Selena Gomez ones because it's like a porn one. And then the porn star, like, they bring her on and she's like, I worked hard for this. And I realize I look a little bit like her, but, like, I do all my own production, all my stuff, and now it's, like, that's terrible. Even the porn star was like, I fucking hate it. Let it be my face.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't like deep fakes at all. Like, there's something really fucking weird about it. It's, what do you call it?
Uncanny Valley?
Yes.
Some of them are very convincing, though.
No, some of them are, but there's still something just a touch off all the time.
Well, the thing that's off is Selena Gomez would never do this. She would never record herself having sex and release it. And that makes it unweird. That makes it uncanny. It's not normal.
Yeah. But the face is, like, there's something that happens in the face sometimes that's not...
I've never noticed. Like, there's this Tom Cruise one on TikTok.
I don't like him.
I don't like Tom Cruise, but, like, somebody's doing a Tom Cruise TikTok where it's them doing random shit, but it's as Tom Cruise, and it looks just like Tom Cruise, and sounds just like Tom Cruise. Even
the girl Paige that looks like Ariana Grande and she dresses like her, like, that's so fucking weird to me.
Mm-hmm. It makes fun of her.
Like, if it's one thing to be a doppelganger, but, like, it's another thing to dress up as that person and then pretend to be that person. Like, it's...
Yeah. Ariana Grande doesn't like it.
Yeah, at first she was like, oh, you're so cute. And then when it got too far, she's like, hey, this is a little
she was also doing impersonations of her as Kat from Victorious and making her seem like she's an idiot.
Dressed up as Ariana Grande.
Yeah, but, like, saying that her personality is she's really this dumb. And she didn't like that. And so she blocked her.
Because she said, why are we mixing Kat and, like, my musical personality together? Like, that's not who I am as a person. I totally understand that. I think artists have to have, like, that whole... persona. Like, you have to separate. Like, there's a stage persona and then there's, like, you. Yeah. If you're going to be any kind of fucking normal.
Yeah, I mean, that's why Beyonce has Sasha Fierce and...
Sasha fucking Fierce.
Lady Gaga has Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
Versus Stephanie Germanotti.
I
don't know. I don't want to honor her name.
I can't talk to you anymore. Okay, so push... Stop it. Lady Gaga's not that bad.
She is.
She's really not.
She is just the worst kind of person.
So at one point Oprah did push to say who had those conversations, and Meghan, like the classy broad she is, refused to say in it. And she's still protecting them, which I have mixed feelings about, but also I'm not her. I'm not in her shoes. Like, I don't... If it were me, I don't know.
I think because they're going with the angle of they're trapped too in this cycle...
Yeah.
That they're trying to be more sympathetic so they don't completely vilify and destroy the royals, but at the same time...
Which makes me like her so much more.
She's just a classy person.
She's just classy. Because she could be like that strong, angry black woman that's like, no, it's completely fucked up. I was surrounded by racists all the time that dislike my baby
so many
before they was born.
Yeah.
And yeah, she could have and would have been well within her rights to do that. Mm-hmm. But still, she's the one who said less. It was Harry that was like, oh yeah, grandma's great. Everybody else? Nothing.
I do like that his relationship with his grandmother has gotten better because of this.
Yeah, and it broke my heart when we talked about his dad and his brother.
Oh.
Broke my fucking heart. I, as a used to be royal fanatic, like, could not wait to see the four of them killing it. I was ready. I was like, yes, Kate, William, Harry, honey, give it to me now. I was like, yeah! Now I'm just like, oh, fuck y'all.
Oh.
I really am. I really, really am. Not like, fuck y'all, like, you're not redeemable, but also, like, if your family, like, stick up for your family.
Yeah.
I've seen Damaris and my husband both defend family members. I'm like, if that wasn't your family member, that would be your send point.
Yeah.
Like, just defend your fucking family. Like, go for it. And then she said, this is the part that confused the shit out of me. She talked about how everybody welcomed her. Mm-hmm. Everybody was so welcoming. Those are the words that she used. And then a year later, pregnant, suicidal thoughts, racist comments about your offspring. And no one thought to just step in and say, hey, this is not okay.
Because it would get her out of the way. Because she was competition now.
I wonder now if they really just thought that they could hide, like, Meghan and Archie. Like, I wonder that.
Hide them.
Yes, like, she kept asking if she could go to lunch with her friends or, like, coffee with her mom, and they would not allow her to, like, oh, you're everywhere. And she's like, I don't understand. I have not left this house. I'm so lonely. Mm-hmm. How I could be everywhere when I'm nowhere. And then, like, the thing that shocked me was, like, the baby picture.
Yeah.
Yeah, they weren't asked to take the baby picture.
But on top of that, she was right. He doesn't have a title, so it doesn't fucking matter.
But also, he wouldn't have been safe.
Yeah.
But they still were not asked to take the picture. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, I'm like, were they really just saying, okay, Harry, marry this woman, take her on tour, But when she started to be this liked black woman, were they just like, we're not going to show her anymore?
Yeah, because she's
I wonder if they were really doing that. But because of her skin tone, not just because of the jealousy.
Mm-hmm.
Because they don't want her walking around with a dark baby either.
I think they made a very good point that going out to all the Commonwealths, like, so much of the people who are under the British monarchy are of color.
Yeah, she said like 70%.
And so, like, having a person who looks kind of like them, of course people are going to love her.
She said that she loved that growing up.
Exactly. So, like, that's a threat to them. So, yeah, they're going to hide her because she's brown. Because, oh my gosh, now they're going to want the brown girl to be in power and not the white girl. Or to be the queen regent or whatever the fuck.
Whatever it's called. I stole that from Game of Thrones. I know there's a term. Like, Kate will never be queen. She'll be queen whatever.
That's not necessarily true. Prince Philip is still a prince.
But he's not king.
No, he's never going to be king.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Is like, she will probably be queen because Harry has said it before.
Oh, is it a king outranks a queen, so that's why he can't be king?
Right. But also, William has said it before because he felt very strongly about the fact that his mom would never be queen. Mm-hmm. That, like, Kate will be...
She'll be queen consort.
That's what it is. Yeah, she'll be queen consort. Queen regent.
Queen regent is when your kid is king, but...
Game of Thrones.
Cersei Lannister.
Yeah, that bitch.
The best bit. I'm joking. I'm totally joking. Her face. Oh my god. She immediately...
Cersei is a fucking terrible
She's
person.
a monster. She's
the
a monster.
Worst character. There's nobody worse than her on Game of Thrones.
Bolton Ramsay.
Okay. The only thing that I will argue you on is the whole mom aspect.
Mom?
Yeah.
Her being a mom?
She's a terrible fucking mom.
Oh, she is?
Yeah.
Well, I don't think she's a terrible mom. With Marcella? With her daughter? She tried so hard to save her daughter from her fate.
And then she pretended to be
I think that's what broke her.
And then she pretended to be pregnant.
So did Kelly Kapoor.
Kelly Kapoor is a horse of a different color. Quite literally, don't you dare. I'm so mad at you. You know what? I have 2 questions. One, how dare you?
My favorite quote. I loved when we had our old supervisor and he would do the group chat. And he questions. Yeah, I have a lot of questions. Number 1, how dare you? And he always got it. And I loved it. He was a big Office fan.
Don't ever compare Kelly Kapoor and Cersei Lannister. Like, I'm really mad at you.
She's disgusted.
I am.
She is disgusted.
Kelly Kapoor is an angel.
No, she's not. She pretended to...
She's a problematic fave.
She's very problematic.
I love her.
Didn't she pretend to be raped once?
Yeah, and then they called her out on it. She's like, okay, fine.
But should you ever pretend to be raped?
But yeah, at least she accepted and owned it. Don't compare Kelly and Cersei. It's not the same.
One might argue that Cersei Lannister is the Kelly Kapoor of Game of Thrones.
I'm so... Shut up, Marla. I'm on my period. There's going to be full menstrual rage right
I'm going to
now.
get punched.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on.
Harry also refused to give details, adding that conversation I'm never going to share. At the time, it was awkward, and I was a bit shocked. Mm-hmm. I love him.
I mean, it's his family, so he has an obligation to not... What?
Yeah, take off your glasses.
I don't want
Be very careful about the words that come out of your mouth. Because I'm a little fiery right now. How dare you? I love Kelly Kapoor.
I do too. She's my favorite character from The Office.
Yeah, but don't...
It's between her and Angela. I love Angela.
You stop. I can't get distracted. It doesn't help that we both are ooh, squirrel.
So...
I just think about this friend that I have that's half black and half German, and she married into a very, very white family. And, white to the point where that's all they knew was white. And I remember one time on vacation, somebody was making, Nazi comments and, slavery comments, just being funny, but, completely tone deaf. And she told me about it, and I was like, that's not okay. You need to talk to your fiance because, it's so disrespectful. She's not white passing at all. She is very much a black person. And she was like, they just don't know any better. And I thought, this is the end of our friendship. Because it became a lot of times it's yeah, I'm half black. Yeah, I'm half black. I'm definitely half black. My daddy's black. Like, and then it became like, oh, I guess it's okay. Like, I'm in love and that's his family and they don't know any better.
No, I'm that bitch who's going to say something.
Yeah.
Like, I've been at, like,
it may end our romantic relationship because I can't spend my life trying to educate fucking everybody about how it's inappropriate to say shit like that in front of me.
Yeah.
Like, it's not okay. Like, girl, you need to do better. And, like, where was he saying that? Like Harry was like, I never realized it until I was dating Meghan. So why wasn't he like, oh, you know, my fiance is black. Like, is it really okay? Like, who didn't pick up on that?
Well, to be fair, everything with Meghan is on a worldwide level and published in magazines. So he has it's very easy for him to see this. Whereas if you're a white person not aware of microaggressions and somebody does a microaggression against your partner of color, you may not realize it because you're not fine-tuned to notice microaggressions. So you don't think anything's wrong by it.
How do you not? But how does that not come? I understand what you're saying. I totally respect your opinion. And I can see that being an issue. Just be like, I think I'm so empathetic that, like, it would be very difficult for me to be in a relationship with someone and not be aware of their race and how their race was affected.
Absolutely.
Like,
but also that's
very
us.
difficult.
That's very us. We're empathetic. Not everybody's sympathetic.
I don't know. We're not friends anymore.
We're not?
No, you and I to the end of time. I was like, I'm officiating your wedding.
I'll put my glasses on. Just don't stop.
Till the end of time. We're together. This is it. You're the... Me and you.
Scared me.
Me and you. We're Oscar and Angela. Me and you.
Okay.
But that girl, we're not friends anymore. Oh my God, Mario, it's okay. I swear to God,
I'm not crying. I'm not crying. I'm laughing.
Okay.
I just thought of this. This is a totally random office moment, but where Phyllis is put in charge of the party planning committee, and Angela brings her the wrong utensils.
Yeah.
And she's like, I didn't ask for these. She's like, well, this is what they had. And she goes, oh, and then she just knocks them on the floor with all the papers and just walks away.
No, my favorite is where Angela, that bitch, Kinsey, like shredded all of her, I have no brain today. All my energy is going to destroying my uterus. The vendors that the party planning committee uses, and so...
Oh, she's so bitchy!
She was like, I need your list of vendors. She's like, you mean the ones I shredded? And I was like, oh!
Here you go.
There you go, Angela. No.
She's such a bitch. I love her.
Yeah, I do.
But she does evolve as a character.
But, like, if I met her in real life, I wouldn't like her.
I probably would.
No. You wouldn't, because if someone was that bitchy to you all the time, if you were Phyllis in that situation... I
wouldn't be Phyllis, so I'd be Oscar. Oh. Gay men and, like, middle-aged white women.
Oscar and Angela.
Gay men and middle-aged white women,
It's happening right here.
Okay, Miss Middle-Aged White Woman.
I am middle-aged. I'm about to be 36.
Middle-aged is like 45.
I'm 4 years away from being 40.
5. You're 9 years away from being middle-aged.
Listen, when I turned 30, I had no age after that. I'm just like, whatever. I'm here. I'm existing.
I'm about to.
I love being 30. I've never felt more comfortable with who I am.
I'm not ready.
And it happened like 6 months after I turned 30. Where I was like, wow, I really don't give any fucks.
Okay, so October, I'm going to be calling you.
Yeah. Being like, I really feel fucking good. I'm about to go out here and show these cheeks. Yeah, that's how I felt. I think I was really self-conscious about my body. Now I'm like, oh, I want to wear something low cut with these saggy ass titties and not wear a bra. Yeah, let's do it. I want to look like a stripper tonight.
Oh my God.
And my husband's like, yes, baby, yes.
I saw this totally random. I saw this TikTok of this guy who used to work for Disney, and he got furloughed because of COVID. So it shows me before the pandemic, me after the pandemic. So it's him as like Prince Philip and like Prince Eric, or no, who's the one that Cinderella marries? Prince Charming?
Prince Eric. Charming is
no, he's Charming. No. Philip is Sleeping Beauty. Charming is Cinderella. Eric is Little Mermaid. So who is Prince Charming? So who's Prince Philip and Prince Charming, and it shows him like doing his thing. And
Who's Prince Charming?
Prince Charming is the one Cinderella marries, and also the one that Snow White marries. They're both named Charming.
Oh, okay, I'll agree with that. Yeah.
And they're just two different guys, two different white guys. But anyway, it shows that, and then it says me now, and it's him as a go-go boy, like with a harness on and a face mask and like a booty shorts, just dancing on somebody. And I was just like, God damn, times are hard. But could you imagine going to the script shop and seeing Prince Philip just dropping it like it's hot?
I would live.
I followed. He's gorgeous.
I would live, yeah.
But anyway.
Sorry.
Back to this interview. I'm so sorry. You got us there.
Yeah. I'm just trying to figure out where I'm going now. No. Okay, so this is what I just ended up with. It's like the Duke said that none of his relatives spoke out in support of Meghan following the racism that she faced in the media, and no one from his family has ever said anything over the course of the 3 years. And yet, Parliament did.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yes, both conservative and Labor.
We're like, this is insane. The media has to stop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And they didn't acknowledge it.
Yeah, they were like, whatever. We're going to do what we want.
It's
I fucking
bullshit.
hate the media so much. So on Harry's relationship with the Prince of Wales, he said he felt let down by Charles and that there's a lot of hurt that's happened.
And his dad stopped taking his calls for a little bit there.
Oh my God. What kind of parent are you? What kind of parent are you?
A normal one in my life. No.
Scott, so sad. But, like, what kind of parent are you?
Yeah?
I don't understand. I do not understand. Speaking about his father, the Duke said, I felt really let down because he's been through something similar. He knows what pain feels like. And Archie is his grandson. That cut me. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, you piece of shit. Like, I hope you're watching it and you start crying.
This is why I think he's the one who made the comment about the skin tone.
Also, can I tell you today when I rewatched it, I was sitting here going, like, I wonder how long they held their breath when Oprah asked Meghan that question. Like, is the world going to find out what Charles. A racist you are? Whoever it was. Like, we can speculate that it was Charles.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. But we genuinely don't know. But I know that they watched it. Mm-hmm. Were they sitting there like... and then they were able to take a deep breath because Meghan yet again protected you. And then asked Charles, you hold your breath. Not Charles, sorry. Ask Harry. And you had to hold your breath. Like, the fact that you watched it, I know you
Their
watched it.
Their assholes were so tightly clenched.
That means you're doing something wrong.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you...
But they don't care.
If you are listening, Royal member, and your asshole clenched and scariness that maybe the world would find out that you are a racist person because comments like that are racist. Care what you say. Fight me on it. Mm-hmm. You're doing something wrong if you're scared the world's going to find out.
Yeah.
You're doing something wrong.
Yep.
Anyway. It says also, but at the same time, I will always love him. That's Harry talking about Prince Charles.
That's your dad.
Right, of course. But there's a lot of hurt that's happened, and I will continue to make it one of my priorities to try and heal the relationship, which that's very sweet of you, Harry, but like...
I don't think Charles cares.
I don't think Charles cares, and I also don't think it's your responsibility to heal the relationship. I think the person that did the hurt is responsible for healing their relationship.
I feel like I relate to him a lot in that regard.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Like, growing up, like, it's an abusive household.
I stopped looking at him as a scary redhead.
You saw him as a person?
I did. I saw him as a person. Yeah. I'm so sorry if anyone's a redhead. I promise you I'm a nice person. It's just sometimes.
Anyway.
I can't explain it. Harry said his father stopped taking his calls while Harry and Meghan were in Canada because I took matters into my own hands and I had to do this for my family. Which I'm on record as saying... My God, how much Harry loves his wife. Mm-hmm. For him to say, we're not doing this anymore. They don't like the way they're treating you. I don't like the way they're treating me. This is before we knew about the Archie skin color comments. And he was like, let go. I've said that before. It's like how much he must love his wife to want to protect her and keep her from the same fate as his mom. Because to me, that was my perspective, right? He didn't want Diana to happen again. That's what he was scared of. And she didn't have protection. We know that now. We didn't know that then.
I was a little bit under the impression... Like, he cared about that, but was willing to live with it. But it wasn't until he found out his son would not have protection that he's like, okay, no, I have to.
But we didn't know that back then.
I know, but he said that.
No. I hear that. But, like, from my perspective, knowing what I knew back then, I was like, he just doesn't want...
What happened to his mom?
To happen to Meghan.
And he brought that up.
And now to find out that Meghan didn't have protection? Bitch. I was like, are you kidding me? And then she's still sitting down writing letters to the firm saying, please give my husband his protection. Mm-hmm. You don't want to protect me? You don't want to protect Archie? Fine. I can wait until Charles becomes king. Give my husband back his protection. He's still a royal living overseas. And thanks to the media, everyone knows where we fucking are. Mm-hmm. And I was like, she's such a good person. She is such a good person. I don't understand why they're vilifying her. I have this in here. I don't know that it matters. You may not want to talk about it. Baby Sussex is a girl.
Oh, yeah, she is.
I don't know that you care about that. The only reason I put it in here is because she did have a miscarriage, and I always feel like acknowledging the second baby going past a certain term after a miscarriage is important for a woman. Let's talk about the Queen really quick. Mario, how do you feel with the Queen now? Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Can we go back to Charles? No.
No, you snooze, you lose. No, I'm joking. Go ahead.
What's his name?
Harry
and
Meghan?
No.
William and Kate?
That one. William. Let's talk about William, the Duke of Cambridge. So there's still a rift between them. Harry did confirm that. And when asked what his relationship is, he said it's just space and time heals all things, hopefully. That hurt too. Yeah, and he said, like, I love him to bits, but we're on different paths now. Yeah, that's exactly what I had. And sometimes it'd be like that. You know, like, it's hard to
accept that people who've been in your life for so long and you are going in different directions, but it's a fact of life, and even brothers.
It's so hard for me, I think, because the perception is like, fine, like maybe he doesn't have the best relationship with Charles because Charles comes off like a total dick anyway. Like, I've never really cared for him.
Mm-hmm.
I think Camilla can suck a rotten egg. It's fine. But, they always portrayed in the media, at least, that Harry and William were like inseparable. Like, he was the third wheel.
They were best friends.
Yeah, he was the third wheel to William and Kate. Like, everywhere they went, he was there too. And so, like, okay, fine. I think at some point we can kind of accept that our opinions are more forward thinking than our parents, right? Like, they're kind of outdated, whatever. And your monarchy, fine, I'll accept it. But your brother was your ride or die, and then you married a black woman. All of a sudden, like, you're not returning calls either.
What if he's the one who made the comment?
I'm kind of feeling like maybe it was. I don't know that it was Charles. I'm wondering if it was William. I think it could be either one.
He has a small dick anyway.
Oh, yeah? Have you seen it?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No. Show me his dick right now.
It was him peeing, but somebody took a picture of him peeing.
And it was tiny?
I mean, it was, like, small, but of course it was, like, soft. But I'm just...
Was he circumcised?
No, he's British.
Okay. They're not circumcised?
No, British people, like, America is the only place apart from, like, Israel.
So then maybe he's a grower, not a shower.
Maybe, but...
I love that if we have these conversations on wine.
I don't need a little...
Daniel and I had a conversation about that. He was like, do you and Mario ever just talk about that? I'm like, yeah. I've sexually objectified men before outside of the gym. I need perspective. That's not his dick.
That's his dick.
That's not his dick.
That's his dick.
It's like a hose.
No, that is his dick.
I'm not good at these.
He's peeing like this.
Hold on.
Which is such a British way to pee.
Oh, okay, I see it. I was looking at fingers. Oh, yeah.
It looks thick.
Yeah, I mean, it does look thick. Oh, yeah. It's the last picture. Yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
That's sad to me.
That, what? There's a picture of him peeing?
Like that, yeah.
Or
like
that his dick's small.
I don't even think it's that small. It looks average.
Yeah. It's just not amazing.
What you'd want it to be for, like,
prince.
this tall prince. Yeah.
Is he tall?
I don't know. Everyone's tall to me.
Oh, fair.
Like, you ask me this every time, and that's my response. Everybody's tall. I'm 5'1". Like...
Are you?
Yeah, I'm 5'1". 3/4 of the population is taller than me. My children are, like, up to my chin now.
Oh my god, he is tall.
How tall is he?
6'3".
Yeah, so he's like 10'5".
I didn't know he was... No, Tim is 6'4".
Yeah, it's 1 inch difference. You have to understand that to me, at a certain point, like, it's just really tall. Like, 3 and 4 is not that different.
I don't know. But no, Tim would get mad if you shorted him an inch.
Okay, sorry.
We were talking... Oh my god.
So sorry.
Tim has been eating lunch with me and Chris lately, and we were talking about Armie Hammer.
Arm and Hammer?
Armie Hammer, the actor.
Oh, okay.
The Cannibal Hammer?
I was like the guy, the baking soda? Alright, well, y'all talking about Arm and Hammer.
No, Armie.
I got you. Armie Hammer.
He has, like, his family is really weird. Like, things have come out about his family. Like, his dad was, like, pardoned by a president and, like, did a bunch of weird shit and, like, was tied to Nazis. Or not his dad, his grandfather.
Oh, yeah, but what was that? That was Project what?
I don't fucking know.
There was a, yeah.
Their family is weird.
That's not that weird to me. There was a lot of scientists, a lot of doctors, a lot of high-ranking, like, officials that were pardoned from the Nazi family, and they were brought over to the U.S. to...
It's not that. Oh. He was pardoned by a like a recent president, like George Bush.
Oh, yeah, that was before then.
Like, it just... There's a whole bunch of weird shit, but, like...
Really?
We were talking about him, and Tim was like, but you'd still let him hit it. And I was like...
No.
Fuck you, I would.
Really?
He's 6'5", girl.
That doesn't matter to me.
He is 6'5". I
am not driven by looks.
I love height.
Like, if you're a fucking terrible person, I will be dry.
Well, I don't know if he's a terrible person. He's just a cannibal. No, I'm totally joking. Her face, y'all.
Sir, that's not safe for anybody. Not even you.
No, true.
Don't
Absolutely
expose
true.
yourself.
I'm joking. It's a joke. He'd never want to fuck me. It's fine.
Rage.
We're good.
That's not the right comment to make. He'd never want to fuck me.
Well, he likes women.
It's not the point.
Keep going.
Self-respect, sir. Let's see. The Queen.
No, we were talking about William still, right?
No, we're done with William. That's all we had to say.
Oh, he had his dick.
Okay, it's average. Harry, well, for a tall guy, that is small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Harry denied that he had blindsided his grandmother, the Queen, with the bombshell statement about stepping down as a senior royal. The Duke said he believed the report probably could have come from within the institution, which makes me sad because now they're vilifying him. Meghan lavishly praised the monarch and said the Queen gave her beautiful pearl earrings, matching necklace for their first joint engagement together, and that she said that she thought that a lot of what we saw about the royals was just for the public. She didn't realize that she would have to curtsy behind closed doors and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, that's real. Yeah.
That was kind of a cool story, though.
Yeah, that was, because you don't think about it like that.
You definitely wouldn't. But also, I think it's cool that she was really calm about meeting her and not freaked out by it. I
would have been like, I'm not getting out of the car.
Oh, I'd be so scared.
I'm sorry. We can no longer date. That's a lot of anxiety for me. I don't know that I could ever be a public figure.
I think it depends.
Mm-mm.
I don't know if I could. Maybe. I don't know.
Mm-mm.
If I got to help with a lot of charities, I think I'd be able to.
But look at Meghan. That's what she talked about. She was so excited to help with that.
Right. But also...
And then look at what happened.
The media was, like, destroying her.
Yeah, but I think that would happen for
But, like,
royal.
I don't think the media would destroy me. I'm joking.
Oh, no,
they
a
would.
6-foot gay, like, Mexican Native American? Are you kidding me?
I'd be Pocahontas. No. I'm totally joking.
I'm so upset with you right now.
I'd die. She died from smallpox. Right?
After she was raped, yeah.
She got over there and died from smallpox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
After she was raped.
Rest in power.
After she was raped.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say rape?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I feel like we all need to know about the real Pocahontas. I wouldn't even let my kids watch the Disney Pocahontas.
Really?
When I found out how different it was, I was like, whoop! No. I will never watch that again.
Do you let them watch Hercules?
Yeah. I do. But it's mythology. So it's
fair.
different. Like, Pocahontas is a real person. Cinderella's not real. Rapunzel's not real. Belle's not real. Like, none of these people are real.
But one of the best memes comes from Pocahontas.
Mario, I can't.
Do you know the meme?
No, I don't care.
You should.
It won't change my mind.
No, I'm not saying letting them watch it. It's just a great meme.
Okay.
These white men are dangerous.
Oh, yeah. That should have been what the movie was about.
That is what the movie was about.
She made an exception for a white man.
Well,
never compromise.
It's
and it's
weird.
Not even real. Like,
it's weird that they romanticize their relationship when he was like a 50-year-old man.
Yeah,
and she was like 12.
Right.
It was gross that they made this into this.
It's so strange, and they made her a sexual character.
Oh, yeah, no,
that should not be Pocahontas' story. Disney, I need you to come out with a live-action Pocahontas and tell the fucking truth.
I think this is why they don't really push Pocahontas as like... I mean, she's considered a Disney princess, but she's not really pushed like all the other princesses.
And she shouldn't be because they fucked it up.
Yeah.
You cannot romanticize that shit. You know how many Native Americans died? I'm sitting across from one, but still.
I was so sad.
They're still fucking treated so poorly.
And I didn't know any of this in terms of like what happened to her until I was much older.
Yes.
And so like I was
really
devastated
upset.
when she didn't marry John Smith.
I didn't watch the second one.
I watched the second one.
No, I didn't watch it.
I didn't have opinions by then. I was like, oh my god, there's a second one? What happens next?
Oh, I didn't
Does she get back with John Smith? No. She marries another guy.
I think at that point, though, I had learned about the real Pocahontas.
See, I didn't learn about it until I was in my 20s.
Oh, no, I was taught in middle school.
I was not. I don't know why
Miss Camacho did it. She was also a black social studies teacher, so what's she gonna do? Anyway, so the lack of support, I feel like we don't really need to talk on it except for how Harry referenced that he believes that his family is trapped.
Yeah, and Oprah's like, they're trapped? Like, Oprah's not buying that. I get the idea,
as a black woman, she's not buying it because there is a racial component, but I do understand the perspective, like the unspoken contract between the media, the firm, and what the royals are expected to do to keep that contract pleasant. Yeah.
But then on top of that, they're subject to the people because they're the monarchy of the people. So the people, if they don't like them, they can overthrow them and get rid of them. And they would lose everything. And they're afraid of that.
Which makes it worse.
It does.
You're literally holding on to a status and a title.
That doesn't matter.
That doesn't fucking matter. I mean, the monarch, like, at this point is inconsequential. Like I told you,
They don't have any power.
I've told the story about how I realized that monarchies were real. Like, I didn't know that they were real. I thought it was a thing of Disney. And so or old school, like, monarchs, like, yeah, absolutely 100%. But the fact that they were still a royal family and that they're not the only one, there's multiple across the world.
Most European countries have a royal family.
Yeah, it's just really fucking weird to me.
It is weird because also it's just like, oh, your family was chosen by God?
Yeah, it's like I've always had that's my issue with,
what
like,
makes you
any
special?
monarchy.
Exactly.
Like, how were you chosen? And then again, if you were chosen, 75 years down the line, like, your DNA is not so potent anymore. So, like, really, is that person still chosen? Like, it's just a very weird
Why
thing.
can't God choose somebody new?
Yeah.
Who's not inbred?
I just have a problem with, like, God involving himself with us,
How
like,
dare
little
he.
people. Because, like, we're so inconsequential.
Right?
That was sarcasm if you guys didn't catch it. I just really, like, I hate it when people are like, it was divinely inspired by God. I'm like, you're still human. You're not an immortal. You cannot communicate with God. If God exists, he ain't talking to you. You ain't shit.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. Sounds so bad, but that's how I feel. Like, God is not talking to me. That's my brain. It's not God.
It's God.
But I think God is the brain, though. Like, I do very much feel that way.
What do you mean? Like, people's perception of God is just their brain playing tricks on them, or?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But also, I do
like,
really feel like God is within all of us because I believe that the universe is God. Like, I'm very pantheistic.
But all in all, did you have anything else to add about the interview?
We talked about Archie's title, right?
Right, and how he didn't get one?
Yeah, no, I'm good. I've always liked Meghan. I'm going to watch Suits just to support her, give her some coin.
I have no interest.
I'm going to support her. I like her. I really like Meghan. I do like that she's very conscious about the way that she talked about racism because she is a black woman. She's already been vilified by a whole country.
Yeah.
I just think the only thing that I need to talk about at this point is fucking, like, tabloids and any institution that comes off as a news outlet when they're just commentary. And I think at this age, I really do have an issue with tabloids. I have a huge issue. Like, I kind of always like, whatever, I don't buy it. Like, I'm not reading it. But there are people who read it, live off of it, and act like it's news and make these terrible opinions or use it to fuel their own commentary, like Piers Morgan. And I just have such a fucking issue with it. And I think about, like, the way that we treat celebrities in America. It's terrible.
Yeah?
It's absolutely terrible. I think if there's something newsworthy that happens, like, let's report on it. But just saying shit, whatever shit you want to create problems, like this whole Kanye Jeffree Star thing. Like, that was caused by a person on TikTok who just wanted to stir the pot. And then the tabloids picked up on it. And then Kim has to make a statement. It's like, it's so fucked up. Like, it's so gossipy that I can't stand it.
I will say I feel they don't have as much power as they used to. Like, back in, like, the Britney Spears breakdown era versus now.
I think that's a little bit worse now.
I don't. Only because they have the ability to post on their own personal social media and have people view their side or get their voice heard about a situation versus...
I understand what you're saying. I just still don't think it's okay.
Oh, of course, I don't think it's okay either. But I'm just saying I'm glad that it's not the same as it used to be. It's gotten better. But it's just now...
I just think it needs to be abolished.
What? Tabloids?
Yeah, tabloids.
I mean, it'll never happen, but...
And also, like, you completely fucked up my perspective of First Amendment speech. Because your comments about, like, protecting you from the government versus, like, people just throwing that term out there saying that you can say whatever you want to say. That fucked me up. Where I was like, yeah, okay. No, I'd never considered it, like, from that perspective. Because you hear it so much that you think about, like,
it's my First Amendment right.
Right, it's not your First Amendment right, you fucking asshole. Yeah. You're just talking shit about Kim and Kanye who are going through a divorce. Like, we don't have the right to know that just because they're a celebrity. I genuinely feel that way. And then I see how damaging it was to the 2016 election, where Trump, like, outright said to his attorney, "Oh, we don't need to set money aside for media. I can get that on my own," because he knows if he's a fucking asshole, everyone's going to talk about him, because all these tabloids really care about is that you click on their link. Yeah. That is not okay. That's a terrible fucking business plan, and it makes America
Unfortunately, a lot of news media is doing it too now. Like CNN.
Yes, it's gotten out of control.
I'm tired of CNN headlines because
I'm so sick of it.
And I love it when I know the story. So, I'm not going to click on that because I already know what the fuck they said and what you're saying is.
Sometimes I will just search the title and click somebody else's that I respect. I'm serious. I feel the same way about Fox. Fox is not a news network. You should not be allowed to call yourself a news network. You're fucking commentary for the conservative right. Yeah. And that's fine. Like, if there's obviously a place for you in the business world, but you're not news. You're not news.
They're not.
Tabloids aren't news. They shouldn't be allowed to vilify one person based on race. Like, all of it is fucked up. I can't stand it. Social media is doing way too many ads. I'm disgusted by it. Like, it's really gross. And I don't like tabloids, and I don't like people calling themselves news when you're not fucking news. And I think if you report something that's damaging, the government should be a right to take away. They should be allowed to take away your right to do that kind of news. I'm so sorry. Like, I'm so sorry. I just, I don't really believe in the government intervening a lot, but, at this point, it's causing someone to be suicidal, and no one's stepping in, and Parliament tried. Bitch, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I've unfollowed every single UK news outlet that pops up on my Google News. I'm like, I don't want to see this shit anymore.
Wow.
I uncarded it. Yeah, not BBC. No. But I've uncarded everything.
Wow.
That's why I didn't know about Piers Morgan.
Oh, because you unfollowed?
Google allows you to say whether or not you like the card. And so when you click to unfollow the card, you can say, is it this story? Like, it's who the person's about, or is it the media? And I just went there and I was like, I don't want to see this media ever again.
Wow.
And this happened before the interview, because 2 weeks before the interview, my Google News was all about, terrible things coming out about Meghan. And I was like, you know what? This is because that interview's coming out. None of this shit is real. Uncard.
They're trying to get ahead of the story. It's classic PR move.
It didn't work. You guys are dumb. All of you. You're all dumb. All of you.
Mm-hmm.
And the Queen did come out with something, right? I think I put that in here.
She made a statement saying that Harry will always be a part of her family, no matter what happens. And that she was blindsided and would have rather them stayed as active royals, but she understands and respects their decision, and they're always welcome.
Yeah, she wasn't blindsided by their decision. She just never thought it would get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
The whole family is saddened to learn the full extent of how challenging the last 2 years have been for Meghan and Harry. Y'all knew. The issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. I don't like that. Mm-hmm. I don't like that. While some recollections may vary. No, I don't like that.
Yeah,
that's unnecessary. It's unnecessary for this statement. I'm going to say it again. If your apology is not on par with Anne Hathaway's apology for the Witches movie, I don't want it. I'm not interested in it. You address the issue, how you need to be better, and you sincerely apologize. There should be no room for excuse in there.
Yeah?
There's no excuses in an apology. An apology is not supposed to be like, but this was my intention. No. You're saying I'm sorry and you're doing better, period.
Mm-hmm.
Especially racism? Are you kidding me?
It's just that whole...
Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much-loved family members, but not royals.
Yeah. Well, that's not true.
Charles. Yeah. Which makes me wonder, to what extent would they still try and keep it from her?
Well, I mean, she doesn't get a title. She's not a grandchild of a monarch.
Here's the biggest part of that bothers me, is that this is his wife.
Hmm?
He loves her. This is a family business. She obviously needs protection, but y'all aren't going to do it anyway? Yeah.
I do know, and this is not an excuse by any means, I do know a lot of British citizens don't like the royals because it's using their tax money. Mm-hmm. And so that's one more person to add on. I can see them being afraid of people getting mad about that, and that's why they're not making money for it. I'm not saying it's an excuse, because her life is in danger just being in the public eye like that. And especially with the news media, vilifying her in such a way because of her blackness. I think she's in danger.
But then why wasn't it an issue when Kate came into the family?
Because she's white.
Or their 5,000 children.
They have 2.
No, they don't. They have 3.
Who's the... Oh, Louis. I forgot about Louis.
Yeah, they don't have... Yeah. But, she popped out babies. They all have security.
Mm-hmm, because they're direct in line for the throne. So it goes William, George...
No, I know
What's her name? And then Harry.
I know how it goes, but I'm just saying, Beatrice has protection. She's not in line of anything.
No, she's not. But she's also a grandchild of Queen Elizabeth.
Or
a sister or something.
But fine, but when you marry, you're now part of that area. But
they're blood. They're all blood. All these people who have security are blood.
Except for Kate.
No, but she's also, direct in line to be a queen. She has a title.
Beatrice's husband has security. He's not in line. He's not royal. He's not going to ever be king, and he's not a grandchild.
Fair.
Her baby is going to have protection. Yeah, that's what she was saying is there are people who have security, because Meghan said that. She's like, we weren't trying to reinvent the wheel. There are plenty of people who are non-full-time royal working members that have security but are called upon to serve when they need to. Mm-hmm. Beatrice is one of them. Her family is one of them. Her sister is one of them. It literally was just taken away because of race.
That's
straight
bullshit.
Up. They didn't want... Yeah. They're not doing anything new. There are plenty of people that have stepped back from royal, but they serve when they have to. They received all the accolades and the protection that comes with being a royal, but they're not front line. They're not William and Kate and Harry.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the whole situation's fucked up. I'm obsessed with Meghan Markle now. I can't wait for them to keep on with their podcast.
The thing that fucked me up the most about this whole situation, there was a headline that said this is the biggest royal, bombshell or what is it, royal scandal in 75 years or something. The biggest. Prince Andrew is literally a fucking pedophile who there is proof of him being with fucking Jeffrey Epstein constantly. Mm-hmm. How is this bigger than that? Mm-hmm. What the fuck? He's literally a proven pedophile.
They're not going to address it. They're not going to address pedophilia just like they're not going to address the racism. Because they threw in that little comment.
Well, I'm going to say allegedly a pedophile because I don't want to get sued. But there's so much evidence that he partook, and there's so many women who have come forward and saying, yeah, I was 17 and he did this.
If you're hanging out with Epstein, I think the assumption is that you are a fucking pedophile, and if you...
Or at least you partake in sex trafficking.
Again, if you are worried that the world is going to find out what you're doing, you're probably doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Again. I don't know how many times I need to say that this podcast. So, Mario, hit me with a ray of light.
Oh, okay. Ray of light time.
Unless you have anything else to add.
No, that was really the thing that are you fucking kidding me? This is not the biggest thing ever.
Yeah.
So back to ray of light.
Ray of light.
So one of my ray of lights is that Jessica's getting an iPad.
Allegedly.
She is. It's happening. I'm so excited.
I'm waiting until after they announce.
Yeah, no, there's supposed to be an event on my birthday where they're going to just do spec upgrades and whatever. And I think they're supposed to be releasing a new 20-inch iPad, or 19-inch, no, 19-inch, 12.9-inch iPad Pro, which is a new version of what I have. But that's really all I've heard.
No.
Is changing, but we'll see. But she's getting one. I'm super excited. I can gladly teach you how to use it.
No.
You don't want to learn?
No, I'm just I'm not going to give you the satisfaction.
Rude.
No, we'll see. I don't even know. I may checking out.
She's getting it. It's going to be amazing.
Don't say that, because if I
so
I want you to be let down. Because it is a lot of money that I don't know if I need to spend right now. It's not really a priority. So it's, it would be something that I purchase on a lark, but I've done a lot of lark purchasing lately.
You've been working overtime. You've earned it.
We'll see. It really comes down to what they release and how comfortable I feel spending money. It's really going to come down. I do want one. I love my daughters, but it's, priorities.
Work. And another ray of light is that my oldest friend, Bridget, is coming to visit me in May.
Yay!
It's only for 3 days.
It doesn't matter.
I'm excited.
That's super exciting.
Yeah. How about you?
My kid's birthday party was yesterday. It was a lot of fun. I'm trying to think. I know I have a ray of light. I just have this headache right now. I don't know that I have a real ray of light. I thought of one earlier, but I don't know.
I could have sworn you had one.
I thought that I did too.
What were we talking about during the week? I feel like there was something that you were really excited
EMDR?
about. That is a ray of light.
It is a ray of light. I've successfully done it. I've done EMDR in preparation for EMDR.
Right.
So, I've bridged. Stephanie bridged it for me. She scaffolded me like the special needs child that I am.
Stop.
Yeah. Well, scaffolding is what it's called. So, yeah, that was,
So if you're not familiar with EMDR, it's eye movement, something response.
Yeah.
Desensitory response, or?
I think so.
But essentially what it is you hold these two pulsing eggs that vibrate.
And I've done the
back and
eyes
forth.
EMDR before.
I've never done the eyes. Is that what you did for the scaffolding?
No. That's what I did for my 2-hour session. Desensitization.
So essentially what it does is you visit a dark memory or something you need to work through, and you focus on where it is in your body and what you're feeling, and then the vibration starts, and it kind of knocks you out of that feeling so you can acknowledge the feeling but not let it overwhelm you. And then you see where you kind of like explore your thoughts and feelings around it and where you're going with it to help you kind of process it.
It's really good for trauma.
It is very good. And so we've both been doing it quite a bit. I've been doing it a lot. Like, most of my sessions are EMDR sessions now.
No. The first time I did it was like a traumatic experience in and of itself for me.
Like, I think for the last 6 of my sessions, 5 of them were EMDR.
No, I just done my first one. Like
Second.
I did the eye one for the 2-hour session.
Wait, so the one where you had the breakdown, that was eyes?
No. The one where I had the breakdown was paddles.
Yeah, that's what I...
But it was when I first started therapy 2 years ago.
Got you.
And it was like, I'm in a much better place emotionally now, but back then I was a nightmare. Like, it was terrible. So I thought, like, I couldn't do it. I thought I was going to pass out.
She did it, y'all.
I did the eye one. That one was really interesting. I don't know that I prefer the eye one to the paddles, now that I've done the paddles and haven't died, because I felt like I was going to die the first time I did it.
I really like the paddles, because I can...
does help.
Because, like, looking at something makes me self-conscious. And so I can't focus on myself when in that regard, like my feelings and my emotions, because I'll be focusing on, like, what face am I making? Or with my eyes closed, I'm focused on my internal, like, where is this emotion sitting and what am I feeling and what have you.
I just really appreciate that you kind of go through the full gambit, right? Like, you're in it, you're emotional about it, and you start learning things about it. And then at some point you kind of like
Or
have exhausted. Yeah, you've exhausted all the emotion around it.
Absolutely.
So that really, that was very cool, because I had never experienced it to that effect before. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's why I really enjoy it, because I don't
Stephanie
feel like...
loves it. I feel like that's all she wants to do.
Well, for trauma, it makes sense.
It does totally make sense.
And so...
It's very effective.
It is very effective. I'm not saying I'm completely over the things that I've talked about, but I'm at a much better place with them now. Like, thinking about some of these things don't immediately break me and make me cry and, like, curl up into a ball like it used to. Mm-hmm. So now it's like, okay, I can think about that. And yeah, that was sad. And I'm bummed that I had to go through that, but I survived and I'm happy about that. And I can get through a lot more if necessary. Mm-hmm. So, like, getting to that point is a big deal. And it's really exciting to be able to feel that way.
Yeah, I agree.
Do you have any others?
I've blanked completely. I mean, EMDR was definitely one this week. Because I just did that Monday.
I had a weird experience the other day. Kind of, I don't know if it was a ghost experience.
Oh, Mario.
It's not scary. But, like, my house is, like, haunted. But I had after work on Friday, I went to Chris's house immediately.
Are you going to go to Target?
No, I didn't. I went to Target on a Saturday. And I ran into Missy and Kati. Mm-hmm. This is the second time at Target I've run into Kati.
I was about to say, you called me the last time.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
But no.
He had some tea.
Shh. Yes, I did.
It was very good tea.
But anyway, I went to his house and we hung out, and then I came home and I was talking to my mom, and I was standing on the stairs, like, talking to her, and I look up and I, like, could have sworn I saw Ricky. And my cat just died, like, 3 weeks ago.
We talked about it on the last podcast a little bit.
No, we didn't. Mm-hmm. I didn't bring it up at all.
We talked about it?
I don't think so.
Have you edited the podcast?
No.
I love you, but we like briefly talked about it. Like, I think you were like dealing with the loss of Ricky, and that was the end of it.
Oh yeah, I didn't. So my cat passed away, and he's been my cat for half of my life, and that's been really hard. But like, I could have sworn I saw him there, like, because he used to sit at the very top of the stairs waiting for me to let him in our room.
That happened to me so many times.
And so I, like, blinked and he was gone, and I got really emotional, and, like, I don't know, my house is haunted. And so, like, I got to the top of the stairs, opened the door, and said, Ricky, if you're here, you're welcome to come in and hang out. And so, like, I lied on the bed, and, like, I felt, like, something on my shoulder. It felt like when he used to lie on my shoulder and, like, purr, and, like, I just talked.
Your brain is God, man.
I guess so, I don't know, but, like, I just talked about, like, how much I miss him and how I'm sorry I wasn't there with him. But, like, a lot of things that I was feeling that I haven't really vocalized, I just let it out and it felt really good. And I was happy I had that experience. I don't know what it was. It could have just been my mind. But, like, it felt like he was there with me and, like, purring on my shoulder. And, like, it literally felt like he was just breathing there. And it was really beautiful. And I really enjoyed it. And then I passed out.
How, is maybe too early for you? Like, I'm so grateful my kids are so sensitive. But, like, how do you feel about ever getting another cat again?
Oh, I will eventually. I just... With everything going on in my future, I don't have time. Well, it's money. That's a lot of money, a financial responsibility because if something happens and they get sick, could be thousands of dollars off the bat. But also finding a place that accepts pets, paying that pet fee. And I just think I really need to go it alone for a little bit. Like, Ricky was such a huge emotional support for me.
I'm struggling really hard.
What?
I'm struggling really hard with ever getting another pet again.
Oh.
I still struggle. And, like, Danny's so cute because he asked me the other day, he was like, how do you feel about getting another dog now? And I'm like, I don't know that I ever will. And that hurts because I am a dog person. I love dogs. If we are in public and there is a dog, I will, especially pre-COVID. Can I please pet your dog, sir? Can I please? Like, there's a picture of me somewhere where I was helping a friend of mine who's on our council canvas, and, like, we were in, like, a rough part of town, and this man comes walking up on me with a huge pit, and I was like, can I play with your dog? And he was like, absolutely. No one's ever asked me that before. And me and that dog fell into each other's arms. Like, that dog jumped on me, and it was this beautiful sandy colored pit, and I love dogs. Dogs are my thing. I'm struggling really hard, though, with getting another one for myself.
I mean, it's a big commitment.
It's not that.
Is it the emotional loss?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yesterday...
I'll take on the commitment all day.
Yesterday I had, like, a moment of weakness because, we have another cat, my mom's cat, Lucy, who's diabetic.
Yeah.
And she started acting really weird.
Oh,
like,
no.
And I was like, I can't, like, my mom texted me, she's like, can you come downstairs?
No.
Lucy's acting weird. It took me 5 minutes to be able to make myself get out of bed to come down and see what was going on. Because I was like, I can't handle this. I can't handle this right now.
Yeah, it's another
because
loss.
I literally just lost my cat.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love Lucy too. Like, we've had Lucy longer than we had Ricky.
Yeah.
But, like, Ricky was my boy. But, like, I still love Lucy, and I can't.
But it would kind of be like reliving it if something happened to her.
And so she's like, we need, let's give her this food. We're not going to give her insulin tonight. Let's give her, like, wet food and see if she eats it. She destroyed it and ate it all. But she's like, if not, we might have to take her to the emergency vet. And I said, Mom, I don't think I can handle that right now. I don't think I can handle that right now. Like, I can take you, but I can't handle that right now. Because I'm still, like, really fucked up about Ricky. And to lose another pet so soon after.
And if you're not a pet person, I recognize that there are people out there that, like, maybe you're not a pet person, but... Like, it's like losing a family member.
Yeah.
I mean, and, like, Marie was my emotional support pet. Like, she was my everything.
That's my Ricky.
And I knew. I was like, I have to get a dog before Marie passes, because if Marie passes and I don't have a dog, I will never get another dog ever in my life, because it's going to be so fucking hard. And even though I have Coco, like, I wonder, like, if I would ever get another dog. Like, it breaks my heart, though, because, like, I genuinely loved having 2 dogs.
It's such a hard commitment to commit to, because you know their lives are so much shorter than ours. So you're taking on the knowledge that one day I'm going to have to lose them. And
I don't think I thought about that when I got Marie. Like, that, I was, like, 21 when I got her.
I acknowledged that, like, throughout having Ricky, that one day he's not going to be here.
Not until I, like, had my kids that I was like, oh, Marie won't be around at some point.
Well, we had lost pets before, because we had lost 2 dogs before we got... Well, so my very first pet we ever had was Casey. He was a little Maltese. Super cute. Really stinky. We did not bathe him as we should.
Yeah.
He was white. And then he died, and it was devastating because, like, I'd never experienced loss before. And this is the first time I saw my dad cry. Like, we were all just devastated because my whole family are pet people.
Yeah,
our pets are fucking family.
Yeah,
like, we're gonna give them the best food. We're gonna take them to the regular checkups. Like, it's an investment that we're taking care of. Like, it's everything. And so then we got Nico, who's a little Pomeranian, and he was so grouchy but cute.
Poms are funny.
I have, like, I don't know if you could see, but I have, like, scars along my nose right here.
Mm-hmm. I've never noticed.
There's, like, a line and a line. Mm-hmm. And it's because it's in the crack, it's not super noticeable.
Yeah.
But, he ripped my nose once.
Yeah. Poms are bitchy.
Poms are mean, but also they can be very,
they're very affectionate, too.
But, like, if he was on my dad and I went near him, he's like,
yeah, my mom's pom is like that. We had poms growing up.
But, like, if he's by himself, he's fine. Anyway, he died, and that was hard. So, like, knowing that, and we had Ricky by that point.
All of my pets have been put down prior to Marie for health purposes.
I've never had to put a pet down before.
Like...
I was prepared to for Ricky, though.
So, Sophie slipped a disc, and so she had no quality of life. And so we had to put her down. There was just... It wasn't good for her, it wasn't good for us. And then, the cats that we had... But the cats that we had, like, they just were, like, they rapidly went into health decline. But again, like, my mom buys, like, bred animals.
Oh, and so they're not hardy.
They're not hardy. No. And I'm a huge advocate. I'm like, adopt. Because, like, you're going to get a mutt, and that mutt is going to be the best animal you've ever had. Because, like, Marie was incredible, and she was a mutt. Coco's incredible. She's a mutt. They're just really good dogs. But... So, like, there was always a reason to put them down, and it was always, like, a decision. It was like, yes, of course, this is the better option. But, like, Marie was my first animal that was, like, I literally put her down because I couldn't handle watching her die. Mm-hmm. And she was dying in my house. Like, she wouldn't walk. She was delirious. Like, you could tell. And I was like, I cannot do it anymore.
I can't let her suffer.
Yeah.
And I'm afraid we're going to have to put Lucy down soon. I was hoping it would happen after I left.
But you think it might happen before?
I think it might happen this week. I don't know.
Oh, honey.
So, like, because she was acting weird. She ate and she was fine.
Yeah.
So either something's up with her insulin or her body's still not working with the insulin.
Yeah.
And I know my family will not. It's too much to have to check the blood sugar of a pet.
It's a lot of work.
It's so much work. Yeah. And, like, it's so dangerous and so easily one way or the other.
Yeah.
That I think we would have to choose to put her down. If it came to that. I think we're going to find that out this week, unfortunately.
I'm sorry. It sucks.
Because I said, like, we have to take her to the vet on Monday. Like, there's no question about it. Something's not right.
Yeah.
And so, that'll be tough. We've never had to put a pet down before. But I was prepared to do it for Ricky if we had to. Because I would shoot myself in the foot before I let him suffer, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't handle knowing he was suffering because I couldn't...
I do think the day that I put Marie down, I think she tried to die because it was a weekday. I think she tried to die when I wasn't home. But that dog was so fucking loyal that, like, even when she was in the process of just, like, giving up, if I called her name, she would drag herself to me. It was terrible. I had to.
Like, with our first dog, we had to leave him overnight in a hospital, and he died at the hospital. Like, once we were out, like, my parents didn't even make it home. Yeah. And he passed. He's like, okay, look, they're not here. I can now let go because they won't find my body.
No.
And then same with Nico. They took him back to the little Pomeranian. They took him back to do blood tests, and he passed. He had a severe aneurysm right there and passed.
Junior's dog growing up, my husband, I call him Daniel Jr., but, like, his dog growing up was a gray pom named Dino, and Dino was, like, my mother-in-law's best friend. She loved that dog, and that dog passed away when she wasn't here. She was in New York when it happened, and we were house sitting, and I remember, like, the night before we were talking about Dino and passing, and Junior said, I had my moment with Dino. I'm okay.
My dad had one with Nico, too, so he was not hit as hard.
Yeah. But then I woke up the next day, and I found Dino, and I saw him laying there, and he didn't move when I walked in, and I went, fuck. And so I touched him, and he was just... gone. And Daniel cried like hard. That was his dog. But then Millie, like, it took months for her to get over it because she wasn't home. Like, it was terrible. We buried him in the back, and you would see her all day long. She would walk down, visit his grave, put something on it, come back. Like, it was like multiple times a day. She took it so hard.
It's your babies.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, please, hey, Coco, bitch, Coco, listen. You can't pass away when I'm not home. Okay? We good?
She's like, what the fuck? You're talking about me dying? He's so cute.
Coco's such a good dog.
But, I know, losing a pet's never easy.
No, it's not.
supposed to be a ray of light. Sorry.
I'm just thinking, is that a ray of darkness?
Nah, I mean, I'm happy I got to experience whatever the fuck I experienced.
No, it's beautiful.
And I felt a little bit more at peace about everything, and I cried hard. Because, like, that's another thing I've been feeling, like, I talked about with my therapist about how, like, whenever I think about him, I just feel the need to cry. And, like, I'll drive past, like, the vet where he passed, and I'll cry.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's normal. And she's
It
like,
is normal.
do you feel anything? It's like, I just feel, like, this need in my face to let it out, but I haven't gotten that cry yet. I haven't gotten that moment.
Yeah.
And that was kind of that moment for me. Like, it was so draining. I literally passed out after.
Oh, ray of light. I got one. I found out that my high school friend, my first best gay ever, I was a hag for him because, you know, he wasn't out at first, and then later on he was. He, like, shut down his Facebook. I had no idea because I don't go on Facebook anymore unless it was to roast Donald Trump. And he reactivated it, sent me a friend request again, and he has moved to Amsterdam.
Oh, wow.
And him and his husband have moved to Amsterdam. He's teaching in Amsterdam.
That's cool.
It's amazing.
They must do a lot of drugs. I'm joking.
No, I think he went there for teaching. He teaches. I think he went there to teach at the university level.
That's cool, though.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I don't know if I'd ever, like, people are like, oh, yeah, let's go to Amsterdam. I have no desire.
Oh, I want to go to Amsterdam.
I'm not a partier, though.
I want to go to Amsterdam in the Netherlands because of how they treat, like, just individuality. I would like to see that. They're very pro, like, be weird, be different, don't follow the status quo kind of thing.
So, I mean, I'd go to other Nordic countries. Or just areas.
And also, pot is fantastic. Like, I wish it was legalized. If it was legalized, I'd be smoking right now.
It's legal in Massachusetts. Come visit. No.
Is it really?
It is.
Oh, okay.
Fully legal in Massachusetts.
It's legal in California.
Are you
No, Sheena doesn't smoke. I know it's legal in Colorado.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Denver's wild.
I would go there.
You wouldn't?
I would. Daniel and I have talked about it.
It's a cool visit.
I also want to do ayahuasca. There's a place in Denver that you can do it. I told you, I was like, I'm not doing it in Denver. We're going to, like, South America, finding a shaman. That's where we're doing it. I'm not doing it in Denver. I'm doing ayahuasca in Denver. Like, what the fuck is that?
I mean, it's just DMT, right?
I'm not doing ayahuasca in Denver.
You know who does DMT regularly? Your guy.
Who?
The awful guy.
The awful guy. There's so many.
With the podcast.
Oh, yeah, he sure does.
Yeah. I didn't realize it was a rock you smoke.
Joe Rogan does it.
Yeah.
I want to have that feeling. I want to feel the God particle.
I've heard for some people it doesn't. I just have my hair in a knot.
Yeah, it looks good.
Does it?
I actually really like it. You should wear it like that more.
Oh, I don't like having my hair out of my face like that. I feel unbalanced.
I thought it looked cute. It was very flattering to your face shape.
Thanks. I always just get told I look like a samurai.
Sure.
Microaggressions at work. Gotta love it.
What were you saying? You didn't realize what?
It was a rock that you smoke.
I don't know that about. I'm more
DMT
interested.
is.
Yeah, but I'm more interested in ayahuasca,
It's
which
the
is
same
a
thing,
tea.
right?
It's a tea. Ayahuasca is a tea.
Then what is?
You never watched the Chelsea Does that I told you to.
No, because we were going to do it for a show and then we ended up not doing it.
Chelsea Does. Yeah, it's a tea.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how they put it into a tea. I just know that it's a tea that you have to drink.
I've talked to a lot of people about doing drugs lately. Not that I'm going to do drugs. I'm just curious.
I think you should. I mean, I do. I think you should. I think you should try it.
I might try something. I don't know.
Yeah. So for me personally, I'm all about the natural. Like, I'm not going to...
I think I would do edibles.
Yeah, I'm not into anything synthesized. Like, I'm not crack, cocaine, all that. No, I'm not into that.
I still want to try acid.
You still want to try acid?
Yeah.
I'm not interested in acid.
I want... If it elevates me like it did Steve Jobs, you know?
I've seen a girl trip on acid, and it was just like, I don't want to go through that.
And I have friends who have done it regularly, and they're like, it's great. And I'm like...
I think great is the word I would use.
They really loved it.
I haven't tried mushrooms. I want to try mushrooms. I have smoked pot before. I still stand by it. There's nothing better than pot. Like alcohol, nothing holds a candle. Mm-hmm. And I do want to do ayahuasca.
Work.
I would like to microdose. I would like to microdose on mushrooms and like float in a pool.
Oh.
That sounds fan-fucking.
I'd be afraid of drowning.
No. Mushrooms isn't, you hallucinate.
Yeah.
But microdose.
Well, if I hallucinate that I'm drowning.
No, you microdose.
I don't know. I also almost drowned once.
If
and I'm afraid it would bring something
you've never done
up.
it before, you should microdose with whatever drug you're experimenting with.
Oh, okay.
You should micro.
I don't know what that means.
You use
Just
small
really
doses.
amounts?
Yeah. So like if you're going to try an edible high is different from a smoking high. If you're going to do that, you need to microdose first. You need to see how it feels on a smaller level so that you can handle it on like that big level. And also edibles last fucking forever. I don't want to feel high forever. I like the short spurt.
I'd like it. I think I'd like it for a whole night. Like,
no.
Well, at least the calmness I felt when I smoked that one time.
But there's a level of high. I don't think that you had enough to experience what I'm talking about. There is a
bad high.
It's not a bad high, but like you're very, very hyper aware of like your skin and the way that things feel, and you don't want that to last on it. Yeah, you don't want that.
Oh no, I didn't have that. All I had was I just felt really calm.
Daniel and I used to like lay against each other and like my back against his stomach. Like we would both fight for whose pressure would be on top because like it felt weird to be the pressure on the bottom. Or Daniel would always say he felt like his skin was mixing with the fabric of the couch, and so he couldn't lay on the couch. He had to lay on the carpet. Wow. And then when that mixed, he had to like stand. So like those kind of things about being high are not fun.
I've never experienced that.
Yeah.
I just felt really calm.
I would smoke again. I wish I had some pot right now.
I got a friend.
I would never. I'm too scared of like random drug tests.
Oh, same.
Yeah. I know they don't do them, but still.
I was anxious about it shortly after I did it.
Yeah.
But I was like, okay, it's out of my system now.
Yeah.
But all in all, fuck them royals. They're racist.
Wow.
I hope they get exposed. I want to know who said it. I want to know who said it.
I don't.
I hope it comes out and then they abolish the royals because of it.
I don't.
You want the royals to continue?
I think if Harry wants to protect his family, I'm going to respect that.
Well, yeah, him not saying he releases it, but like if the firm...
But if he doesn't want it, he had every right to release it, did not. That's not part of the narrative that they're exploring.
Yeah.
So no.
But sometimes...
I would much rather the royals stay in power and do fucking change. Like, that's what I would rather see
I don't
happen.
think they will, though.
I know, but that's what I would rather see happen. That's what I would rather
I mean, it'd be in an ideal world, yes, but I don't think that would happen. I think more likely us finding out who did this or who said this.
I think it was going to come out that it was Charles and that William backed him up.
I think it was either Charles or William.
I think Charles said it, and then that conversation that they talked about where, like, they said that the decision made sense. I think that was Will. I have a busy weekend this weekend.
Do you? Mm-hmm. I have plans tonight, too, and I'm so tired.
You and I have dinner on Friday.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this coming weekend?
Yeah.
I don't. I'm off, but next weekend I'm off Friday through Wednesday, and I come back on Thursday.
Well, you and I have plans on Friday.
Uh-huh.
Saturday, what's happening Saturday? Something's happening Saturday. Saturday I have to get my nails and my toes done. Damaris and I are going every 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then every 6 weeks.
These nails have lasted really well.
She did a great job. Fantastic. I need to figure out what nails I want next. Because if I walk in without a plan, I'm there forever.
I like your fingernails in a dark room because it looks like talons.
Oh, yeah. Because
the black just makes them disappear and just like, oh, she's so bad.
Yeah, I like it too. And when I take pictures, I'm like, oh, they're so sharp, but they're not.
Do a stiletto coffin. Mm-mm. They're beautiful.
They are, but I don't. On me, I don't like them.
Oh.
I just prefer coffin. I get coffin shaped.
Stiletto coffin's so beautiful.
I think I've done it once and I didn't like it.
Did it hurt?
No, it didn't hurt. It just was like not my style. Like I think it's stunning on other people, but me, I think coffin or ballerina, like the really extreme coffin, those are nice on my hands.
What's a really extreme coffin?
A ballerina coffin.
Because I only know, like, it's not the same as a stiletto coffin?
No, stiletto coffin's the pointy ones.
No, a stiletto coffin is a stiletto with the tip cut off, so it's a really long...
Well, that's called a ballerina.
I know that is a stiletto coffin, according to Susie, but...
Let me see if I can find a picture.
I love that. That's what I'm talking about, though. No, because stiletto nails suck. I couldn't imagine, like, functioning with stiletto nails. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Get that.
That's ballerina.
Stiletto coffin. Get that. Get that. They're beautiful.
Look, they even, like, label it. Coffin, almond, ballerina, square, stiletto. I know that as a ballerina.
We'll get a ballerina, because they're beautiful.
Look, coffin versus ballerina. Maybe I will. I'll get a ballerina, but that's a stiletto.
Yeah, but a stiletto coffin is where you get a really long stiletto and then cut off the tip.
But that's ballerina. Coco, oh my God, it's so sexual. Stop. Yeah, I've only ever seen that as ballerina. I've never seen it called a stiletto.
I've never
coffin.
heard of a ballerina.
But everything I just looked at was like ballerina.
Right. I've never heard of it before.
Maybe it's just even more extreme. Like, maybe it is actually the stiletto and then they just cut off the super very tip.
Because
like,
that's how every time I've seen anybody make them, that's what they do.
Oh. Well, no, I would say that a ballerina is more coffin. That's not what I do. Anyway, nails are getting done and then I have brunch with my friends on Sunday.
Nice. I don't have anything else.
We're getting back into the busy part of the year for me. Got birthday after birthday after birthday after birthday until my wedding anniversary, and then I have a break until Sheena's birthday in August, and then after that they pick back up and we get social again.
Are you excited
about
Sheena's birthday? Visiting Sheena. That's a stiletto coffin. So maybe it's a little bit longer.
Maybe it is longer. Yeah.
They're gorge though.
I will say I am excited because Sheena has narrowed down dates for the wedding.
Oh.
So I'm really, really happy. And I like the bridesmaid's dress that she's picked.
Work. Which,
even if I hated them, I'm still fucking wear them and keep my mouth shut because that's what you fucking do.
Especially when you don't want your daughter to wear tights. Or you want her to wear tights.
I wasn't even referencing that. I'm talking about like these bitches that have opinions about their bridesmaids' dresses and their shoes. Shut up! It's not your wedding.
Fair.
Oh.
You gotta go?
Yeah, I'm going to an open house at Damaris.
Oh, fuck. Okay, well, we thank you so much for listening to I'm Very Passionate Podcast. I'm Mario. This is Jessica.
I'm not going.
Oh, it's been canceled. Never mind. We got 10 more minutes, guys. I'm joking.
It's fine. We can keep going.
No, please like, rate, and review us on Stitcher, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that jazz.
Tell us how you feel about the new Amazon logo, because I fucking hate it.
Oh, it's so ugly. We didn't even talk about that. Yeah. We talked about it before the show. It's fucking
really
ugly.
Weird, and I don't understand the blue. Is that supposed to be tape up there?
It's tape.
Okay, I got it. I don't like it. I like the old Amazon better.
Same. I like that they had to change it because it looked like it's Hitler stash. But
I never saw it, so I don't know.
I'll pull it up. But we'll catch you guys next time. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.